Prophet Marshall Occurrence. So this video is gonna be basically about God's kingdom against America. God's kingdom is against America. I think that a lot of people think I'm just making up stuff, or I'm just saying it out of being vindictive or something like that. No, it's too much evidence that these people are our enemies. So I mean, you used to maybe people of color laying down, taking it laying down, and it's not going to happen this time. So, you could put all these people against me, and I ain't going to be like Hitler, and I ain't going to be suicidal because you surrounded me. Oh, I guess you thought because maybe you thought I was racist or something. Oh, you'll use the Hitler trick and surround me, and I'll want to give up. It don't work like that, buddy. I'm too aware of history. If anything I learned from Hitler, is under pressure you don't fold. That's a first. Admit it, it's a first. If I ain't learned nothing from Hitler, is that under pressure I ain't gonna fold. Which means you could put me under surveillance all day, and guess what, buddy? You could put me under all kind of pressure, and I ain't gonna fold at all. That's how I'm built. I already proved it. So the Hitler trick won't work on me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna fold. I don't care about it. I'm too old to care about it. See, time done went by. Before you know it, I done got older. You know what I'm saying? And the older I done got, man, I don't care nothing about these people putting me under surveillance. We just gonna call it a spade a spade. That's all. If you out here playing with God's people, we ain't gonna look at that no differently than what it is. And if you bold enough to play with us, then you take what come with it. As simple as that. Don't cry about it. Take what come with it, bro. That's all I'm asking. Don't act like something strange is happening to you, or you don't understand why the world has changed so drastically. I told you this would happen. I told you this would happen. You play with God's kingdom, you put us under surveillance, you play with us and got these police out here sounding sirens and stuff. Well, listen, I'm one person. Did everybody forget I'm one person? I'm one man. I'm one guy, right? Okay, so you could use all these people on me and feel like you actually win. And you use all these people against me. How you justify that to yourself? That you think you could win with all these people? How you justify that to yourself? Where you feel like you actually would feel like you won, and you use a whole bunch of people. You feel like you feel like you won. How could you? Nobody could feel like that. What I decided to do, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I decided to go ahead and fight for this to end, for this whole country to end. And we're just going by everything with spiritual means, which means I don't operate like a terrorist. I don't operate like somebody with these operations. I just allow God to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? I play my position. I fast. I seek God. I send offerings out. And now you're watching that in suspense. You watching what I'm doing. Nobody cares about what you're doing no more. Anybody care about what these people doing? Nobody cares. You ain't got me under pressure. I'm a black man. That don't work. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about what you're doing. And like I said, if I ain't learned nothing from Hitler, was that you don't fold under pressure. And that's not anti-Semitic. You learn from everybody. You learn from fools. You learn from everybody. So I learned from Hitler in the sense that under pressure, I ain't gonna fold, because that's what you expect. You play these gay people in these secret societies, play with the wrong man, and now you sit back watching what the community is doing, and it ain't doing nothing to me. Mm-hmm. Trying to be hard. See, that's I knew what this was basically from the beginning, man. This ain't nothing but culture people. That's what I call them. People that's part of the culture. All this stuff going on on TV and the internet and all of this stuff. That's all them type of people is obsessed with. That's where they come from. That's what breed their mentality. Their mentality ain't bred from the streets like us. They ain't bred from real soldiers like us. They bred from the internet. That's why they ain't got no morals. That's why they do stupid stuff like somebody like from the internet. They gonna do stuff for kicks. They gonna do stuff thinking they gonna do stuff. An internet person is gonna do stuff for people to respond. You know what I'm saying? For the kicks, for people to show a response to what they've done. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know they internet people. You can tell the stuff they do is for a response from the people. And so you just came against somebody that's a little bit older than you from a different time that where I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about it. I don't care nothing about it. That's why I'm glad I'm the age I am, because at this point, I live my life. Excuse me. That's number one. Number one is I live my life. Number two is I don't have that mentality that these people have around here. I don't have no mentality that they have. And that's how I'm surviving. That's how I came out as the better man. That's how I came out as the man that won, the man that's on top. So, you know, and so, you know, it's just putting me under surveillance. It's just making it end quicker. That's all we doing. I don't play along with the show, the game. You might think that somehow, especially with the videos that I do, that I'm kind of playing along with this game in my own way. I'm not. I'm not playing along with any game at all in my own way. I'm taking care of my business in my own way. That's what I'm doing. So update. I've sent money to the Philippines and to Cambodia. I'm gonna be working. I actually found that just when I thought the Colombian currency put with the USD was the best currency exchange, I found a better currency exchange, which was in Cambodia. Cambodia, their currency exchange is a little more than Colombia, just a little more. So I'm thinking about working down there for a little bit. Which is, it's gonna be hard for our enemies to kind of manipulate, you know, because they've been manipulating in South America. That's the only reason I do believe that what I'm doing in South America influenced them to be all down there blowing up boats and killing people down there. Because they're aware of the profit. I know the government knows about me. I know Trump knows about me. And it's funny that they started working down there in the South America right after I started giving offerings down there in South America. Right after I started giving offerings, all of a sudden now they working down there in South America. That ain't funny to you, it's funny to me. Now all of a sudden they working down there in South America. And so I think it's because I'm working down there. So that's why they doing it. If you know Trump knows who I am and they're aware of my operations, ain't it kind of funny? He just started working down there talking about war on drugs and all that. I mean, you could draw from it and say, well, because all these people came from Venezuela or whatever, right? You could say that, but I'm gonna say smart people always got more than one reason for doing everything. And that's smart people.
They got more than one reason for doing everything. And if you don't know, you're just going to think one reason, this reason. Smart people always got more than one reason for doing most things they do. Especially if it's dealing with war and strategies and things that are well thought out or should be well thought out. There's probably more than one reason. So while you could talk about the war on drugs, it could be also kind of stirring up controversy down there in where the prophet is giving offerings. But I found Cambodia has even stronger value exchange, currency exchange with the dollar, the USD. But uniquely in Cambodia, they also use American currency down there in the ATMs and everything. I found this out. And so, but just thinking off the cuff, if you get USD from somebody that's sending you money, I don't think you would take the money and then go use it as USD. You'll go to a bank and get the full capitalization of the situation. So that's what I let the Christians know when I send the money out to these different countries to go take it to the bank and get the money. I mean, some countries, they have no choice because you can't use USD everywhere. But Cambodia, it gets tricky. They got, it's more of a value currency exchange on the value. The value currency exchange, the value exchange of the currency is more, but they still can use USD out there. So I don't know if they'll try to use it as USD or just go to the bank and exchange it for Cambodian currency, which that's what I'm hoping they do, and I'm gonna articulate that by letter. But I'm thinking about going ahead and working with them. Just because of the geographics as well, and I'm supposed to be working with them this year anyway. So yeah. Because I've been working with Colombia, very good. Very, very good. Yeah. I sent some money to Colombia not too long ago. But you know what I noticed, man? It makes it very lonely, man, at the top. All these people I thought was good Christian people, man. As soon as I started telling them about giving millions of dollars, like, to the church, they, like, switched up, man. Like the energy just was, like, switched up. I'm like, wow, really? Because I'm guessing maybe they thinking I'm thinking all about blessings, but I'm not. That's how you know my heart's in the right place. I'm not thinking about, so I'm gonna say the obvious. I've given $1 million, $1 million coming back to me, but I guess that's in terms of how some people are thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just thinking I'm on my way to get millions. But I'm not really thinking about that. I'm thinking more about this war, actually. So I need the harvest to be a response to all the gang stalking and the surveillance of the Americans that's all around this building and around this neighborhood. They think I'm stupid. So all this surveillance around this building and neighborhood in Brooklyn, I need that checked, as soon as possible. A sizzle. I don't even say ASAP no more, A sizzle. I started my own slang, A sizzle. I need that done, A sizzle. You know what I mean? That's why I'm giving money like yesterday, because I need that handled. You know what I'm saying? I'm not nobody plaything like that. I want the hammer to come down on these people. I'm putting the hammer down by doing what I'm doing. I'm saying I'm just used to channeling my anger and rage the right way. Healthy feelings of anger, because anger is not a sin. The Bible says, be angry and sin not. My might and what I feel, I'm just channeling it the right way. You know what I'm saying? But I just noticed, man, a lot of Christians kind of got quiet when I started telling them about offerings, like a big offerings. Just, and this I know it's true because when I start fasting, like on another level, like a 21-day fast, water fast, just 21 days. I did a 3-week, 21-day fast. No food for 3 weeks. Don't you know the Christian community on YouTube, everybody energy changed, got quiet and everything. I'm like, oh, wow. Then they try to show, because you know it's certain politics that was against my name, right? So they try to show like, it's like this one person seemed like they were trying to show that they better than me. Like, look at me. What they thought he was doing or what they thought was his weakness, I'm not like that. Look what I'm doing. I'm interacting with the children. They saying all this stuff about him, but look at me. I have a child in my hand. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, wow. So after I do a 3-week fast, they jealous? I'm like, really? Okay. So like, that's been like over a year ago. The energy been funny because like once they seen I did something that most Christians won't do, most American Christians ain't gonna go on no 21-day fast. Nah, they might do a 3-day fast, maybe a 5-day, but on the average, I don't hear any American Christians talking about going on a 7-day fast, which is my average right now. For the past 5 years, I've been doing 7-day fastings, just like that. Just like that for 5 years. Like the first 7-day fast I did was December 2020, at the end of 2020. At the end of the pandemic, I did my first 7-day fast in my life on the streets. You know, I did 2 of them before I left the streets. I did 2 7-day fasts in December 2020. So that's 5 years ago. Just like that. It's crazy, right? Yeah, so, wow. Like, I've been doing 7-day fastings for like 5 years. That's why, like, I get all kind of information. I get all kind of revelation knowledge and epiphanies of things and everything because I'm really in the trenches. I'm really fasting. Like, you know, like I told y'all before, man, a goofy person has a goofy approach. So anybody looking at me like this is a game, like I'm just fasting like some little character or something, man, listen, you a clown, bro. I'm tearing your country apart with fasting. With offerings, we tearing you apart, bro. So for you looking at me, I mean, I expect that, obviously, because I got a proverb concerning people like that. You know, a corny person can only see everything corny. They can't even look at. You could be a serious person, but they looking at you in a corny way. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can see you as beautiful, but they see you as something else. They see you as some kind of other character or something. Because they corny in their brain. Their brain is corny. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta know that. You gotta know what kind of people you're dealing with, man. Like, if you don't realize that, they're not, the only difference between a real person and a fake is how people think. That's the only difference. Because I can show you big punks. I can show you dude that's 6'5" and they punks. Then I can show you somebody that's 5'6" and 100. A little dude, a little Latino dude, way more cutthroat. And you got a big black dude that's a big punk. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, my point is being real is not a certain size. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that think like that is on their way to the body bag. If you think being real is a certain size, you're going to be on your way of getting tucked into a body bag real soon. And that's just the bottom line. You're going to get tucked into a body bag. Because if you the type of person that size people up based on, like you in high school, based on how they look or based on how big they are, you're gonna be the person to get tucked in the body bag, buddy. I'm just letting you know how the world is. I'm just letting you know how the world is. You know, if you the type that size people up and you look at their size and you think that means you can play with people, you gonna be the first. You gonna be dead out here. You know what I'm saying? You got little dudes that's little, and they harder than these big punks. And now when I say big, I mean big in any sense. Muscles, anything that you consider aggressive or whatever, dude got muscles and punks, bruh. It's all about a mentality. That's the only thing it is. It's the only thing is a mentality. If my mentality is 100 and yours is not, you're a punk. That's simple as that. And I can spread that in different ways. And morals, it's not just violence. It's morals. It's integrity. It's honor. All of that. You know. If I'm 100 and you're not, we're not even comparable. We have two different mentalities. And that's all it is. Like I said, I can show you somebody that's like a little kid, short like a little kid, right? But dude is 100. You know what I'm saying? And why is he 100? He's a little guy, but why is he 100? Because it's his mentality. His mentality is 100. I mean, this is more understood more in the Hispanic or Latino community more than the black community, because black community, they go by big dudes. That's what they go by. Hispanic and Latinos are little guys. So you can't really go by that. So what do you go by? You go by the mentality. That's what you go by. When Hispanic and Latinos, being that they little guys, see, I'll train them up like heart shooters. Like heart shooters. They have the right gravity on the ground to shoot right for the heart. So me, I think in militant mindset, you know, I've thought about that. I'm the only person probably thought about that. You can keep that for yourself. You can keep that for yourself. I think about like dudes at that stature, like the Latino community, they could be heart shooters, shoot straight for the heart. Cause you're like at the right place in gravity, you know what I'm saying? Like you can shoot right at the heart, right? But black people make the mistake of judging things by how big a dude is and stuff like that. But then I go to the Latino community and I can show you dudes that's way more cutthroat than half of these black guys. And so what's the difference? The difference is the mentality. That's the difference. While you got some Latino dudes that's cutthroat, you got the other dudes over here, big old black dudes, big punks. Because of the mentality. And that's the truth. That's the truth, man. So that's why, like, people putting pressure on me, it's just, you must got a death wish. You definitely got a death wish. Because I just feel like that's what it is. You know, people play high school games, and I got so much pain in my life already that I could care less about whatever you talk about. I don't care what you talking about. And I could crash through you. I don't crash out, I crash through you. I don't crash out, I crash through people. I crash through communities. I don't crash out, I crash through cities. I crash through communities and neighborhoods. That's what I do. I will never crash out, but I'll crash you out. I'll get you out of here and crash you out, though. I ain't gonna cash you out, I'm gonna crash you out. That's your way of getting cashed out. You get cashed out by getting crashed out. Look, man, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Black people make the biggest mistake of thinking they the biggest gangsters in the world, and they ain't built like that. And how we know? Because of your mentality. You couldn't have. I expect anybody challenging me to be able to have the goods to go to the top, and I can see that you can't. You ain't professional enough. You're not professional enough to go to the top. That's all these black people's challenging me and playing these games around me. Listen, man. Like dude cooking on the microwave. We know that microwave don't even work. So you just using that as a trigger. That's a roach. You know what I'm saying? That's a roach type of person. I got a microwave in here, right? It don't work. But they're trying to trigger on it by using it as like some bugged out game, like they using the microwave, it don't work. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, dude, man, listen. I consider you people you're a child to me. You're a child in my world. And that's facts. You're a child in my world. That's why I would never give you my full undivided attention. You're not worthy of that. You know, you're really not. You know, and so when it comes to who's who, man, it's all about mentality. You know, I went to Los Angeles. I lived in California. I lived on the West Coast. I just sent money out there to California. I'm glad about that. It's on the way right there. You know, it's on the way right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's gonna be there, you know, early next month. It only take 3 days for mail to get to California from New York. So it only take 3 days to get there. Matter of fact, I gotta contact my friend out there in California, let him know it's on the way. He always snapshots a picture once he gets the envelope. You know what I'm saying? And they're very professional. So I got California Mexicans I deal with in this spiritual war. We're in spiritual war. It's real, as you can see. Like in the beginning, you might have thought I talked about it from a street aspect and you didn't feel like it was on that level. How you feel now? This is why I talked about it the way I did. And people thought I was trying, I don't know, maybe you thought I was trying to mix Christianity with the streets. Maybe, how you feel now though? When you see that everything's changed. So you can see I wasn't mixing Christianity with the streets or something like that. Or I couldn't let the streets go. Maybe you thought something to that effect. But how you feel now that you can really see these spiritual manifestations? Because we, like, while they playing psychological games, we're out here changing. These things are changing. How cold is it right now? About 9 degrees out there? It's about 9 degrees, ain't it? That's why it's quiet. It's about 8 degrees, ain't it? About 8 degrees out there, ain't it? Yeah, ain't nobody out there now, is it? That's after I sent my $1 million offering to South America. I put $1 million down there from this room. Now you got a snowstorm in the same time frame. It ain't no coincidence. Right in the same time frames when I sent that $1 million down there. Now y'all got a snowstorm here. You got 8 degrees weather. You think it's a coincidence? It's not. It's not. It's not no coincidence. It's not at all. So you know what I'm doing is defeating those who try to defeat me, and that's all there is to it. If you thought I was a feeble person, a pushover in my mind where you could just slaughter me, I'm sorry to tell you, buddy. I can't be a scapegoat. I'm nobody's scapegoat, buddy. I'm a lion. A lion can't be a scapegoat. Sorry. Sorry about that. But not sorry. Okay? Can't be a scapegoat. You made a clown of yourself. You clowns. You pay for what clown. Like, this is the streets. You pay for the situation you put yourself in. You put your community in. You should be the scapegoat for your community. And voila, here you are. You're at death's door. You're at death's door. And you don't want to accept the outcome. But yet you the one that made the whole situation. And that's why nobody ain't having mercy. It ain't like me and you sharing the situation. Nah, that's all one-sided. You came out here playing with me. It's a one-sided situation. It's not even hard for people to see. See, in your arrogance, you thought, I don't know. Oh, maybe you heard about my sexuality. And you thought I was just somebody you could just break and I'll just fold out here in the streets. I think that did influence it. Because it couldn't have been because I'm black. You know I ain't going to fold because I'm black. So my thoughts is, you thought because you heard something about my sexuality, even all the stuff you heard, you thought I was gonna fold. How you feel about that now? That's why you didn't listen. That's why you didn't do any. That's why you didn't feel like you just went reckless with everything you was doing because you didn't feel like you had to answer to nobody because you was sure I was gonna die. Think about it. If you sure somebody gonna die, you don't feel. You just gonna keep putting pressure. You don't feel like you need to answer to nobody because you feel like you zeroing in on this person. And they gonna fold, and I didn't. Now that I resurrected, and I ain't even been having sex with nobody. I ain't had sex in over almost a year. I'm turned. Oh, I ain't had sex in almost a year. I ain't drinking. I'm clean. I ain't smoking no weed. I ain't got no vices. whatsoever. I ain't even masturbating. I ain't even ejaculating. I ain't even watching porn. I ain't even watching no pornography. That's 100. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's dangerous for you, buddy. Because when you find somebody that clean like that, and you just stuck on a cartoon, you stuck on cartoon time, you ain't on demon time. They gave you too much credit. That's 7 hours. Man, you ain't on demon time. You on cartoon time, sucker. Why y'all keep telling them people they on demon time? Them punks on cartoon time. I made a new one. They on cartoon time, bruh. That ain't demon time, bruh. Them dudes is not killers. That's all I'm saying. They not. Y'all gave them way too much. Y'all been doing that from the very beginning. Y'all gave them secret society people way too much credit. They ain't on no demon time. They on cartoon time. Been playing the same games year in, year out, buddy. So what people you know on demon time gonna be playing the same games every year? Think you gonna turn up eventually? If you on demon time, man, nah, that ain't demon. That's cartoon, bruh. Stop giving them lame people so much credit. Talking about they on demon time. Got them walking around like they 100. That's what got them arrogant like that. Y'all the ones responsible. People in the community, you need to tell them lames, man. They listen, you on cartoon time, bro. That part, you are. You on cartoon time. This dude is turned, bro. He giving $1 million offering down there to South America. He's sending $73,000. Now you done found Cambodia. The currency is worth more in Cambodia. The USD is worth more. You put it together. I'm gonna start sending it down there. I already got my address and everything. My Cambodian address. I sent money to Cambodia and the Philippines last night. Wait for it, bro. Wait for it. This is the calm before the storm. Wait for it. They can't shoot it down. They can do all the They can do all the witchcraft, the animal sacrifices, everything they try to do to stop it. They can't stop it. They can't. Ain't nothing you can do about that. That's too far away. That's out your district. Money in Cambodia. What you gonna do about that? What you gonna do about the spirituality that's coming? Man, come on, man. Stop playing, bro. You ain't, man. Listen, man. Keep in mind, I've been here in this room for 3 months, going on 4 months, and they ain't done nothing. They ain't done nothing to me. Let's update ourselves. They've done nothing. 3 months. What? So how long is it supposed to take? Because I ain't gonna be here forever anyway. How long is it supposed to take for you to do something? Because I ain't gonna be here forever. So you couldn't say a year because I ain't gonna be here a year. So you couldn't have thought that. You see what I'm saying? You see how I catch people in lies? You couldn't have thought you was gonna do something to me within a year's time. Because you know I ain't gonna be here for a year. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be here for a year. This ain't the only place that offer housing in New York. I know another one. I know another place that offer housing. This ain't the only one. You think I'll stay here for a year? You're tripping. With these little refrigerators. I'm wasting my food stamps on these little refrigerators. I could be putting me some meat in there, everything. That's another reason. Nah, they can got all the pans and cooking and all that downstairs. They got the stove. You ain't got no refrigerator. I need meat. I need to put my meat in the refrigerator. Ground turkey. Go out my way to go get some ground turkey, stuff like that. Make some real meals, some burgers and things like that. How I'm gonna do that? How I'm gonna do that with a motel refrigerator? That's all I'm saying, man. Listen, it's not about. Imagine you holding me to be grateful when these my enemies and they making moves like an enemy. I'm not. How you gonna be grateful for any part of this situation? You're not gonna be grateful. You're gonna be grateful when you know they set you up. So then, why would I be grateful for this any part of this situation? You see how corny people are? You put me in a situation where you know you came in this situation on purpose, but I'm supposed to be grateful. What part of it I'm supposed to be grateful for? When it's spoiled because of the setup. It's spoiled. The whole experience is set up, so it's spoiled, right? So what I'm supposed to be grateful for? See how you shut that down? What part of this I'm supposed to be grateful for? So that's my attitude, man. But see, that tells you my mentality, back to mentality. You should have thought that yourself. I shouldn't have. If you 100 like me, then I shouldn't have to tell you this. You should already know. You should already have thought along the lines of what I'm talking about. Well, why would he be grateful for this? And this is a setup. Well, they seen they could to see if they could try this dude and see what this dude is, put him under surveillance. More than anything, you put me under surveillance, right? So why would I be grateful for a situation where you put me under surveillance? I'm not grateful for this situation. I'm not 1% grateful at all. I'm not 1% grateful. Okay? Not for this situation. No. You don't put a real nigga in a situation and then expect him to be grateful. That's a slave, bruh. You put me in a situation and I'm supposed to be grateful for it. That's what I'm saying. They so used to slaves, they don't, when you stand up like a man, they listen, they gotta agree with it, don't they? Gotta agree with it, don't you? So I'm not grateful. I'm grateful to God for life itself, but I'm not grateful for this circumstance. No. Why would I be? It's surveillance. I know it. At minimum, it is surveillance. So why would I be grateful for it? Think about that. That's how corny people are. They so goofy that what I'm saying, a person to put you in a situation talking about, well, he should be grateful. Grateful for what? Y'all put him in a situation when you couldn't win. You playing with him over and over again. Why should he be grateful for this situation? Why should he want to deal with anybody? Why should he show love to anybody? You know what I mean? Why would you even speak to this dude? Why would you even try to befriend this dude? That's trying me, man. That's how I feel. Even talking to me is trying me. That's how I look at people. Don't even talk to me, bro. You already know what the situation is, so don't play with me. Don't even talk to me. That's how I feel. Yeah, they put you in a building where you know it ain't nothing but witchcraft and enemies. Only way you could think me and you could talk is if you're gay. That's that frenemies, gay stuff, and we kind of friends, we kind of enemies. That's that gay stuff, bro. Only a gay person gonna think they can put you in a situation like this, and you and them supposed to be, y'all can talk to each other. That's what I'm saying. It's a different mentality, and I know that mentality. When people sit up in your face, only a gay community would think like that. That's how I know it's gay people in here, right? Street people, real bona fide street niggas, know if they put you in that situation, ain't no love, ain't no need to talk to the dude, ain't no need to say nothing to him. And here's furthermore, there's no need for him to think he wants to talk to you, or you don't understand his attitude. What, you on crack or something? You don't understand his attitude. He figured it all out. That's what his attitude is. His attitude is he figured it all out. And now he's walking around with weapons. Beware the dog, man. I'm walking around with weapons. Listen, what you expect me to do? I'm 100. I'm 100, bro. Every time you see me out here, I got weapons. I'm talking about walking down the stairs around this building. Just keep that in mind, bro. Just keep that in mind, because you walk around like you're a little arrogant, like you're a little cocky, a little more cocky than you should be. Because I know you ain't got no weapons on you. And that's the bottom line. Now you think, listen, if you think I'm going to hesitate and you playing with my life, you think I would hesitate? You got a lot of faith in somebody else being rich, softer than you. That's what happened to a lot of black people. You got a lot of faith in somebody being weaker than you. And you being harder than somebody else. You got a lot of faith in that. But you don't really know other people, do you? This person's walking around with weapons 100 and already feeling some type of way about everything. Imagine you being harder than him. He gonna snap harder, he gonna move harder. And then what I be tripping off of dudes acting like they don't know, talking about you crazy. I'm crazy? No, I'm adjusting. That's what I'm doing. I adjust. I adjust to lames like you. That's what it is. Ain't nobody crazy. You listen, you a Bill Cosby kid. You shouldn't have came out here in the jungle. You shouldn't have came in the jungle playing with real ones. You know what I'm saying? Thought you was gonna get away with it. You thought you was gonna have a little cameo and go about your business. It didn't work out like that. We play for keeps. Now you in trouble. I told y'all they was gonna respect us like the mob. I told you. So I had to go through all of this. You know what I'm saying? Because God's kingdom is gonna be respected like the mob. People gonna respect us like the mafia. Let's live in the real world. God's kingdom is greater than the mafia. Even the mafia would agree with that. But it's not a lot of people that can play that position, that can get the respect that the kingdom of God deserve on earth, because you fold into situations. You don't play these positions when you're in dangerous situations and you come out on top like I did. You know what I mean? So it's easy for you to sit up and be one-dimensional, like I like to say. You're a one-dimensional Christian, and you don't realize, man, like God got other things in mind that you didn't think about, like him getting more respect than all these street people. Yeah, that's got to happen. All these people that think they above God's kingdom, before it's all said and done, God has to have his respect. God, not me. You see where this is going, right? All these arrogant people, even if you didn't challenge God directly, he is still going to make sure you understand he is God for all the stuff that you've done as a street community. It has to be understood. He rules over all of us, including you. And that's how it runs, buddy. That's how this whole thing go. Imagine if you was God. You ain't finna let these people down here act like they harder than everything, where they can take life away and kill kids and everything and all that without that being challenged. That has to be challenged in itself as a concept of being out here in these streets shooting around. That as a concept has to be defeated. It has to be submitted to God. That means a lot of stuff has to happen, if you understand and you follow me. That is a concept. Gang banging and hustling and street life as a concept has to be submitted to God. It has to be brought down, bro. That means a lot of stuff has to happen. God always does this to wicked community. It doesn't matter what the format is. As long as they're the wicked, it's going to be brought down. That's why it's already in place. I'm already in place for it. God's people, because I already know God already revealed it to me. His kingdom is going to be respected more than the mafia. You understand? When we get done with this, by the time this is all said and done, you going to respect us like the mob, bruh. I'm telling you right now. That's why it's just a whole different situation. I don't deal with lames. I don't care. I don't care what you've done. You could never be the man that I am. You can't talk my language. See, I still arrived where I needed to arrive as a head honcho on God's side. And let somebody challenge it. Let somebody see what it's about. Let somebody see if they want to see how it go. I can show you how it go. We'll shut down this whole country. It's already in the makes. It's already in the making. We don't deal with challenges very well. You understand me? We don't deal with challenges very well or threats very well, buddy. Yeah, you know what I mean. We don't deal with no challenges. Because I know, first of all, for me, you beneath me. You listen, man. Listen, bro. You smoke crack or something? I've been out here in California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, all throughout the West Coast. These people will tell you what they thought about it. They wasn't there every time I was in California. They just caught up to it. I went out to California in 2001. How long ago is that? 24 years ago? They wasn't there 24 years when I first went to Los Angeles. They wasn't there when I went on the West Coast. It don't, listen, my point is, they wasn't there every step of the way. For what gave me the heart, what produced the heart for me to go to the West Coast and everything I was around. All the environments that I went through, they wasn't there. They're trying to be here now. I don't clean up nothing, buddy. I tell the truth how it is. Y'all in trouble, and you trying to make me a party to trouble. You on your own, buddy. Just like a lame supposed to be. Just like a lame supposed to be. You on your own. When I'm on my own, I do better. Cause I'm real. Listen, when I'm on my own, I do better. Cause you know what? I don't gotta worry about nobody but me. I ain't gotta get none don't gotta be done. But if I don't have to depend on nobody but me to get this done. That's why I like it like it is. So for anybody that think they on my side, listen, buddy, you playing yourself. You playing yourself big time, buddy. I ain't on your side. Me and you ain't together. Okay, you played yourself by bringing me into a situation. You know what I'm saying? I start winning, then you act like you on my side. Come on, man. Are you that stupid? You really that retarded? Well, okay, then you already know I'm on my own and I stay on my own. I'm winning. I take my wins by myself. If you came here trying to be interested in me, you played yourself. Okay, that's what it is. I'm supposed to do this on you. You would expect, and people on the streets, you expect the same thing. This dude comes up. He becomes a head honcho. Everybody pays. All the people that's playing with him pay. That's it. That's what's supposed to happen. And if it was the streets, that'd be the same thing that would happen. If somebody rolls up through the streets and rolls up through the ranks, this dude got reputation, what you think he gonna do? First thing he gonna do is off his enemies. He gonna off all those who played with him along the way. That's it. That's all you expect. If you was watching a movie, that's exactly what you expect. You expect him to swoop back around, do a Yui, hit everybody that played with him. So I'm no different. You see what the energy is. I'm no different, bro. I want revenge. You understand me? And it's not gonna change. I just play it low key. You know what I mean? I don't harp and sing songs about it every day, but come on, read between the lines. I lived here in New York. You already know what it is. I lived here. I was in East New York. I was in Harlem. I lived in Staten Island. You already know what time it is, man. You know what time it is. Stop playing. All right. So then you can even say I'm influenced by New York. I'm not influenced by New York. And I done lived in Harlem. I done lived in East New York where some of these white people can't even live at. Well, you ain't lived at. That's the bottom line. You ain't lived there. You ain't lived in Harlem. You ain't lived in East New York. So this is why I take off on white boys. White boys ain't lived in East New York and ain't lived in Harlem. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You ain't lived in Bed-Stuy either. I lived in Bed-Stuy too. You ain't lived in none of those communities. So I don't want no white boy or those who are like white boys. Some of these black dudes like white boys. And Hispanic Latinos, some of you are like white boys. You mean you are not the same type of person, bro. We not. Okay? What part is fabricated? I was out there in the community. The community saw me. All right? I interacted with the community. That's my point. I've been in tougher neighborhoods around tougher people, brawny Brooklyn people. And for you to act like Utica is something, this ain't nothing to me. And this building ain't nothing. Meaning the people in here, they're nothing to me. Okay? And I'm not gonna be played with. Cause when I take off on New York, cause I went to LA. New York ain't gonna go to Los Angeles. And that's that. And that's settled like that right there. Until you go to Los Angeles, I don't wanna hear it. Cause I know you're scared of it. I know you're scared to go at all. And the older people get, these old funky witchcraft people, the older you get, you scared to go to Los Angeles. You ain't gonna go out there for no reason. So imagine me knowing that and me going out there, but you haven't. That's why I'm like this. Cause I got more to my story than you realize. You ain't gonna do what I do, bro. Come on, that's all I'm saying. I make it plain and simple, man. Simple and plain. You ain't gonna live in my shoes. You ain't gonna go out here and coast to coast like I do and come back in one piece. Since the last time you saw me in New York, I done lived in North Carolina and California. And I came back in one piece. Now imagine you still with the same games that you got going on. Imagine me taking you seriously. Imagine you being compared to me. And I done got more reputation out there in California. And I just sent money to California. Just sent money out there. You sent money to California? I just sent it. It's on the road right now, as we speak. It's on the road somewhere across country as we speak, bro. It's on the way. That's all I'm saying. That's to my California Mexicans out there by East LA. Played yourself. Going out here, hanging with the culture people. That's where you played yourself. Them culture people what got you. That's what got you right there. All them little lame dudes. The little lame dudes, man. That's what it is. These culture people got you. And they lame. See, we produced another community that smokes weed and parties and think they 100 and think they G's and gangsters, and they not. And you see what I'm saying? The party lane. I call it the party lane. And anytime you got people in this situation like this, the only thing you can do is pay your way out, man. That's all it is to it. That's all you can do. Ain't nothing else to talk about, bro. You got to pay your way out. And anybody thinking anything other than that, man, listen, bro, you playing with me, man. Because if it was anybody else, you go get the bag, and that's how I feel. They would. They ain't gonna get the bag for anybody else. If it was the mob, they would've got the money. Oh, you telling me Freemasons, Illuminati gonna play with the mob like that? Nah, bruh. You ain't gonna play with the mob like that, bruh. So then, if you know you're wrong, what you gonna do? You gonna go get the bag. That's what you gonna go do. You ain't finna sit here and play with me more. That's what I'm saying. On top of that. That's what I'm saying. That's what a war turn. You don't think God look at it like that? How else is there to look at it? You owe this dude money and you sitting up here acting like you got something to see about this nigga. You act like you got something to see about me. What you got to see about me? I told you we gonna be respected like the mob, bro. You gonna think we gangsters. That's okay. You gonna think I'm a gangster. I'm not. I'm not a gangster. If I was a gangster, you'd be dead. I would have already put money on your head. You'd be dead already. If I was a gangster, you would be dead, bro. That's simple as that. I don't let these people live. I don't let niggas like this live. How you know I'm not a gangster? Because you still alive. If I was a gangster, you'd be dead, bro. I would have been putting money on your head. I would have been got you out of here. All these little Freemason bastards, all these little Illuminati bastards. I would have been got you out of here, bro. That's how you know I'm not a gangster. I'm a soldier. I had to fight. I strategized. But I wind up with more respect than a gangster. That's the difference. Because most people gonna give me the full respect. As opposed to a gangster guy, some people that respect them and some people that don't. Their own mama don't respect them. Own daddy don't respect you because you're selling drugs or you in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give respect for my mom, my family, everybody, and the streets. My mom, your mom, and my mom, they both going to respect me. Your mama going to respect me and my mama going to respect me. Because ain't no way in the world your country going to be marrying children in America. Marrying children in the United States. And you gonna play with me, you gonna play with a black man. But you've been marrying children this whole time, and then we find out you was marrying children like in 1929. All that good time. All the good time in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, not in the 90s. Y'all was marrying children. Even here in New York City, you was marrying children. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted my bag. That's it. That's all I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. I'm going to war. I'm using my power. I'm wielding my power like I'm supposed to, just like any other man would do it. Any kind of power that a man would have, if he don't get his money, he gonna use that power. I guarantee you. It could be political power. It could be gangster power. It could be spiritual power. Mine is spiritual power, and you see the signs that it's working. You see the signs that this power is real, but you still take it for granted. I'm no differently than any other kind of man with any type of power. You look at the politics. A politician, if you play with him, he gonna punish you with politics. He gonna punish you with all the networking he can do. A gangster, the same thing. He gonna punish you with his network as a gangster. I'm a spirit. I'm a prophet. I'm worse than all of them. I'm gonna punish you with the network of the kingdom of God. That's gonna go all around the world, destroying you, making chess moves till we get you as Americans. Till we get all the way over here and get you. And so for another Christian, I can't expect you to be like me. So I realize I'm on my own path. I can't expect you to. How you gonna be like me? It ain't gonna make sense. It's gonna be fake. Just like emulating a gangster, and you ain't a gangster. It's gonna be fake. You can't emulate me. It doesn't make sense for you to do it. Because me and you don't have the same story, right? You haven't been wronged by these people. You haven't been through what I've been through with these people. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for you to sit back and judge and everything like that and feel like I lost my way. I haven't lost my way. Listen, if you knew what I was going through, you would say he right in pocket. He doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. That's what most of the people gonna say. The streets gonna have more respect for me than some of these Christians. Because they know all that's going on. So when they hear me talk like this, it's right in sync, in pocket with what's going on. I'm supposed to be just like this. Ain't no way in the world you think I'm finna let somebody play with me and I don't get my revenge. You crazy. Yeah, you should knew that was coming. You try to play me like a slave, bruh. Like put me in this situation and put me in these rooms and stuff. Put me in these rooms and playing psychological games around the rooms like I'm stupid. That's exactly. I'm a black man. How you think I ain't gonna know? You're retarded. That's what made you retarded, not me. I knew. Yeah, can't be serious. That's how we know you lame. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. How else you need me to put it? How else can it be said? What else can be said is the question. What else can be said? You play these positions. You came out here in the field. You got what you deserve, buddy. That's all there is to it. I lived in New York. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you think I'm fresh off the boat. Which means, you know what that means? You know what I'm trying to insinuate or articulate? Is that I'm New York strong, buddy. Whether that don't just equate to gangsters, that equate to being here in New York. Right? I'm New York strong, bro. Ain't no way in the world you gonna break me, sucker. Okay? It is what it is. You could be born here. I got stronger here. You can take the crown for being born here. I don't care. I don't care about that. I got stronger from being here. That's all I'm talking about. As far as being from New York and all that, you can have all of that. I don't care about that. I got stronger here, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm now New York strong. You can say you're born here. I'm New York strong. How about that? And ain't no way in the world you're gonna break me in no situation, and I ain't gonna see this, and I'm New York strong, and I know what's going on. You know I'm gonna know what's going on, right? Okay, so stop playing with me. Okay? That's why I carry weapons now. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna play any games with you. I'm not gonna play one game with you, buddy. Not one. Okay? And you can have all these people around, these police. The police is, their hands is tied. What they gonna do? And I told you, I come out there and I take care of my business. Every time I came out there and got my money, got my vitamins, got everything I needed. I got my bread, everything. Okay? If I was scared of the streets, I would come out in daytime. I would come out in the daytime, wouldn't I? A sucker will be scared when his money hit, scared to go out there at 12 o'clock with the stuff I'm going through. No, with the stuff I'm going through. Not just in life in general, with the stuff I'm going through. He will be scared to go out there at 12 o'clock. I'm out there every time, man. I'm hitting it before the clock strikes 12, I'm out there. Making sure I hit it right on time. As soon as I can. Yeah, that part. I'm hitting the ATM. I'm on my way to the ATM before 12 o'clock. Going to get that money before 12 o'clock, buddy. Yeah, I told you I'd be out there when I need to be. I'm doing everything slowly but surely. That's why I ain't rushing. I ain't letting suckers rush me. Everything I'm doing, I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing it how I'm supposed to be doing it. And ain't nobody gonna, that's why I need people to update themselves. Like, how you felt I should have did it, I want you to look at how I did it and the results I got. Okay? Now you can see this is how I was supposed to do it. I know what I'm doing. And if I don't, God got me. God gonna take care of the things I really don't know. Right? But you can't label me an amateur. You know what I'm saying? When I'm this credible and I sit back this cool and collected and smooth. I already know how this is gonna go, bro. I come in and I get my job done. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew, and now how more confident do you think I'm gonna be now moving forward? I'm gonna be that much more confident. I come into a new situation, boom, I already know what it's gonna be, bro. I already know what it's gonna be. I'm gonna come in and the whole community gonna feel me. This whole neighborhood gonna feel me, buddy. Yeah. Brooklyn gonna feel me, buddy. And I already know that. Listen, buddy, at the end of the day, you just a bunch of Americans to me. That's all. That's all you are. There's nothing else going on here. To me, that's all that's going on. Okay? You can have a whole bunch of guns and God got a whole bunch of angels. You know what I'm saying? To tear you and your family apart. And that's what you're going to learn. Now that I'm clean and pure and living righteous, listen, bro, it's a wrap. With every day, it's getting worse for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not having no sex. You can't see I'm out here wilding in the streets. You can't even say I'm drinking. They probably thought I was going to drink myself to death. That's what they thought. That's why they probably always try to put me around a liquor store, hoping I drink myself to death one day. You know what I'm saying? But here I am. 7 months clean. No alcohol. No drinks. No beer. No shots. No alcoholic beverages. You know what I'm saying? And that shows you the strength that I have. You know what I'm saying? With the things that you think I love the most, I can let it all go. And flip you and bug you out. Like, I done quit smoking. I done quit smoking cigarettes. I don't smoke spliffs no more. You ain't seen me with a spliff in like almost 2 years. No, you ain't seen it. My best weed years is behind me. I grew up smoking weed. You know what I mean? So my best weed years are behind me. I ain't nothing gonna top the years cause I grew up on it as this is how it is. If you a kid, you start smoking weed as a kid, right? All of us didn't. Like, for example, Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, he didn't grow up smoking weed. He started smoking weed when he was 19. All the weed songs, and he started smoking weed when he was 19 years old. That's kind of fun. I didn't know that. So then what was he doing in his teenage years? No, I'm just saying. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What was he doing? That's funny, ain't it? I don't know, man. I mean, it's funny. It's funny how ironic things are, bro. His story is, you can go check and validate that. He started smoking weed when he was like 19. That's what he said. 19. I was done with it by 19. I was done with it. By the time he started, I was done. My point is this, man. What triggered that thought was people who started out smoking young, and when they was a boy, not a man, not a grown man, like Crazy Bone, smoking weed at 19 as a grown man. We was under the impression he was a straight up weed head like we was. He started smoking weed when he was 19. That's when it's safe. You know, you safe smoke. We smoked weed when we didn't even know what was going on and what it was, and if we was dying from smoking this stuff, we didn't even know. We was still taking chances. Especially back then, we was going to people's houses and going to... So he was never making them runs when he was a kid. Man, we was like little kids going to smoke weed, getting robbed. I remember getting robbed, going to the weed house. Back coming from the weed house, getting robbed. All other kind of danger you get yourself in. Back then, because weed was illegal. I got robbed at gunpoint with a gun. And I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I started smoking weed when I was like 14. I started smoking weed, which is the perfect, I'm not condoning it, but it was the perfect age. Wasn't too young, definitely wasn't too old, but 14 is when I started smoking. My second teenage year of my teenage years. I started when I was 14 for sure. And I never stopped throughout my teenage years, you know, from 14 on up to all my other years. And I still got through school, barely, you know. But I got through school, but I wound up going back and getting my GED, which I'm proud of myself for that. I did that, as I was a grown man, you know, I went back and got my GED, you know, because my dad influenced me to do that. He was like, just go get that paper, man. Just have it under your belt. You know what I'm saying? He just threw that in my ear, and I did it in my own time frame. You know, I took heed, but I did it in my own time. And that's probably one of the people that influenced me. My dad was like, yo, just go back and get that paper. Get it under your belt. You know what I'm saying? Go just get that GED under your belt. So, you know, I buckled down. That's me from smoking weed all them years, you know what I'm saying? People think your mind fried from how much I smoke weed. It's some family members who always think I'm crazy from all the weed I smoke. Cause that's all they heard was I just smoke weed all the time. I became a black sheep off of smoking weed. Everybody and their mama knew in my family I used to smoke weed. From a distance, everybody knew. I was the weed head. See, back then in the 90s, they still wasn't sure if it was like the equivalent of being like a drug addict. So weed smokers was kind of treated like drug addicts back in the 90s. Yeah, like with that police surveillance, like, you know, what are you doing with your life? And you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? That little weird, strange police energy. So what are you doing? Smoking pot? Oh, okay. What are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? Like, we went through those things, man. We went through those things. You know, being stigmatized as drug addicts or people that's just bums and, you know, people that was losers, you know. Weed was looked at, now it's celebrated because it's now understood. But before we understood it, we was doing it because it was from the black community, and that's what people did. We smoked weed. And, you know, I wind up ironically hanging around a white boy, and I started smoking weed like that. This white boy got me high smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? But he was the coolest weed buddy because he was funny, and I was funny. You already know how I am. So imagine me as a kid. I'm smoking weed and tripping. And then guess what? We had the perfect house to get high in, man, because nobody got up at night. My grandmother, she laid down. She didn't get back up and have coffee. She never did that. She was like super routine. She never did nothing abnormal. She was like, she probably could have served in the military. She was so good with routine. Every night, literally, she would lay down certain times, wind down. She might watch a little movies or something in a room, but once she's in the room, we start our party. You know what I'm saying? She ain't getting back up. She every once in a while. On the way to the bathroom, she might come through and look around. She used to do that. But just like up, where she coming in and like taking, getting up and doing something and for whatever, getting up and getting a cup of coffee, taking some medicine, whatever. She never did that. She never did any of that. So anyway, man, anyway, we had the house to ourselves. So when we smoked weed and got high, we was by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We was by ourselves, and we could watch TV, HBO, everything, smoke weed and sit back. Oh man. And we had no problems. We had nobody interfering. Nobody was interfering with our high. See, some kids wouldn't even know how that is. You know what I'm saying? You smoke weed, you gotta go home to your mom's house. It's arguing, yelling, and all this stuff going on, and all this crazy stuff going on. At any given time, you got cell phones now. Everybody's cell phones going off. See, back then, in the 90s, you smoke weed. I smoked weed, and there was no cell phones. Just HBO, good TV, everything like that. And we sit back and smoke weed and just enjoy the high. And it lasts about 2 hours. It's like the best part of the high. So we would sit back and time our weed, everything. We had it down to a science, man. Just sitting back smoking weed, laughing and tripping, watching movies. Tripping, just totally free, and like playing video games, getting high, smoking weed, playing video games, all that. See, so that's why I say my best weed years are behind me, because nothing compares to smoking weed as a kid. It's because you don't have no responsibilities. It's carefree, and then you got a young mind. And you get high with a young, especially weed, not no cocaine or drugs. You smoke weed as a kid, it's like it's the, without condoning it, man. It's so much children and weed is so compatible, because it's a silly high, right? And you're laughing and smiling and laughing and tripping and wilding, man. Weed is just so compatible, you know what I'm saying, with somebody when you were a kid. So, like, we just tripped, and then you had those bizarre word conversations where you say something you ain't never said before. We used to do that, man. We say stuff we ain't never said before. Like when you first start smoking. And then you remind each other, remember that time, man, when you said this? And that? Like, that's how it used to be, man. We used to say stuff we ain't never said before, high, you know what I'm saying? We remember that stuff, so my first weed buddy was a white boy, and those are the best, like, I don't condone it, but that was the best kind of person to smoke weed with, because he liked to laugh and talk. You don't know you're high until you talk. If you sit there, you're going to just go through your thoughts, right? Or watch TV or whatever. But if you talk, you realize how high you are. Like, oh, hold up. You start talking, like, then you start thinking while you're talking about whatever you're talking about. And and before you realize it, man, because remember, as a kid, you're infatuated with the fact that it actually gets you high. Something gets you high. It makes you different. Like, the concept of getting intoxicated for a child is very infatuating. It's like, man, I'm actually high. I actually do feel different. Like, I do feel a little different. See, that's how you are when you're a kid. I do feel a little high. Yeah, I do feel something. I do feel a little different. Think about it. You're like just now experiencing this feeling for the first time. Man. Some would almost say that's comparable to sex. When you first start smoking weed, you can't never do that again. You can't never do it again. You can't never make that happen again, buddy. That's why people like to go to different drugs, because they want that same effect, like that. When you first smoked weed and you felt that different feeling, that's why they call it the gateway drug. That's the only reason they can call it the gateway, because you gonna feel that one feeling and you ain't gonna be able to get it back. You ain't gonna be able to get tripped like you first started tripping when you first started smoking weed. You're gonna have to do something else to feel that. And that's what that in that psychology, that's why, I mean, that would fit. Like, well, you do a little bit of coke, okay, you're gonna be tripping like you ain't never tripped before. You smoke some crack, you're gonna be tripping, or some pills, all different types of pills and things like that. But man, you ain't gonna never be tripping like you was when you first started smoking weed. You first started smoking a joint. You know, man, those times were so different. In the '90s, kids would never know, and we ain't have no hindrance. Our family really was most families that wasn't too conservative didn't give us a hard time. Once my mom knew I was smoking weed, I was good. I was glad actually, cause now I didn't have to sneak around. I didn't, you know. Now she knew I smoked weed. That was it. My family knew I smoked weed. I was good. My mom, my grandmother, my dad, everybody knew I smoked weed. It was almost like bittersweet because it was like now I ain't gotta sit outside if I'm high and try not to go in because you paranoid. You think people gonna see your eyes and know you're high. You ain't gotta do none of that no more. Everybody just know you smoke weed. And it's okay. So like, for like the first couple years, I had to kind of duck off though. Like when I was 14, some people feel like that's too young to smoke weed, especially back in the '90s. But I was like a bona fide weed smoker because of this white boy I was around, man. He always had weed. He knew how to get it. He stayed passionate about getting it. And me and him used to smoke weed all the time. And we used to get high like it's meant to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like you smoke and you trip. That's how you supposed to. You don't supposed to smoke and be serious. You don't supposed to smoke and get. It doesn't work like that. Weed is a happy drug, a happy intoxicant, if you will. You're not meant to be serious. Like that's the culture that changed if you smoke blunts with people that want to sit around and be serious, it's like, what's the point? Like, nah. I'd rather be if we gonna be serious, I'd rather not smoke. If it's wartime or something going on in the streets, then and everybody's serious, I'd just rather not even smoke then. That's my personality. I'd rather not even smoke. I'd rather drink before if it's like that. Everybody paranoid, everybody serious. I'd rather just drink. Smoking weed is just meant to trip. You meant to be tripping and celebrate, laughing and everything like that. Like that's how I was brought up. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I started hanging with, I had a cool black friend that I used to smoke with named Dominique. Dominique like to trip because he was funny already without weed, them type of dudes, and so was I. So me and him started smoking. We actually smoked together. It was crazy, man. But yeah, he came to my house. That kind of friend, man. So you got so much love for him, man. You want him to come over, man, and we smoke weed, listen to music and everything, listen to hip hop, and trip. Sit out on the porch and trip. You know, now he was cool. Like he was probably my coolest weed friend, buddy. My best weed buddy that was a black dude, Dominique, man. And he got killed in the streets. Yeah, he tried to protect this girl that, you know, she's a grown woman, and she tried to go over and defend her, and he wound up getting killed by somebody over there. And that was my best friend. Like, far as my weed buddy and my friend from school that went from middle school to high school, we went through it all together, man. And he got killed, man. He would still be alive, man, you know? So I got the stories too, man, just like the average dude, black dude got, man. You always got somebody that you missed that got killed in the streets. I mean, I don't know nobody that don't got at least one friend that you got killed out there in the streets, man. That you regret real bad. Like, man, it's always that same feeling. Yeah, man, but if Dominique would have lived, man, I probably would have been a different person. Because we had that influence. He could have had that influence over me, because I just believed in that person like that. Like, he was just a good guy, nice guy, and I liked him, and me and him had love for each other. We smoked weed together and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? He just a funny dude. Just a funny dude. Me and him never had an argument one day. I ain't never even seen Dominique even get serious on somebody. He probably did, but I probably didn't pay attention to it. I probably didn't pay attention to it. We just always was just fun loving. He didn't really get into sports either. I played sports, but he really didn't. Dominique didn't really play no sports. So when, I don't know what he did during lunchtime, I'll be honest with you. That's how I created other friends besides Dominique, because he didn't really play sports. I don't really remember. I kind of think he did, but I don't really remember. So I kind of created other friends because I like to play football. I play football, and I play a little basketball. But I used to play basketball more at home. You know what I'm saying? When I went back out to California, I still played basketball. When I was in LA, I played basketball. Los Angeles. So I didn't just go out there and, like, some people think I just went out there to be ignorant and stuff like that. And that's what they expect for people to come out there and trying to rep where they from and try to, you know, rep their city. I wasn't on nothing stupid when I went out there. That's why they took me seriously, because I don't pay attention to things that other people might pay attention to. Like going out to LA, you trying to show people how tough you are. Corny stuff, like I wouldn't pay attention. Like, you know, this LA, you heard all these stories, you trying to show where you come from. I wasn't doing none of that. I just came out there and just lived life among the people. And that's how I got in so good and easy, because my head was in the right place. As soon as they see me play basketball, it definitely was over for them. Like, that's a dude right there. That's a black dude. Go out there and play basketball, run 21. You know what I mean? I went out there and ran 21, you know what I'm saying? To one woman was talking about, pull your pants up. While we playing basketball, when I was in LA, you know what I'm saying? She's talking about, pull your pants up. Because I just came out there and shot around. You know what I'm saying? I think somebody gave me a ball or something. I don't know. But anyway, I went out there and shot around, man. Shot 21. You know what I'm saying? That's what I ran out there. We ran 21. And, but then out in San Francisco, boy, shit, I ran 21 in games and played games and everything. With young dudes, too, like in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? Basketball is my thing. I can play. I'm more of a three-point shooter. I'm good at three-point shots. If you line it up and I get the groove in, my mojo get going, and I feel out the court, and I feel, you know, I can get them three-point shots. Going to the hole is not really my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just all shots. Just put me in the right spot. Boom. I get a groove. Once I get the groove, I'm in there. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I got a reputation in California for playing basketball, things like that. See, I don't put my mind just on the streets and things, and you know what I'm saying? And how some people, that's just all they think about. You know what I'm saying? Once people can see I can let my guard down and play basketball, that changed California opinion of you. Okay, this dude's cool enough to play basketball. He ain't out here on no ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Complete ignorance where he just got something to prove. Or, you know, that's what California gonna expect of people. Particularly, you know, you out here trying to rep where you from, trying to show people how hard you are, trying to get down and everything, and trying to do something illegal. People couldn't even say that. Did I do some crimes in San Francisco? I don't think I did. I don't think I did some crimes in San Francisco. I don't think I did. Nope. I don't think I did. I was just partying. I ain't do no crimes out there. I think I despised petty crimes anyway. Like, you know, oh, well, you know, I did a little something that might have been illegal. I was boosting. But I don't consider that crime. You know, I ain't do nothing really, no real crimes, but I lived with a booster in San Francisco. This person liked to boost every day. I don't like people like that. They get up, they got to boost. Everything they get, they boosting. That's what they call it in California. Boosters, you know what I'm saying? Every day you go to the store with a booster, they gonna put you up to getting something. I hate that. Because I got the gift of gab. I could get stuff for free. I can go to McDonald's and get a whole combo for free. You know how you do it? I used to do this on the streets. No lie. Particularly McDonald's, every restaurant you can think about. I'm going to go to the manager and ask them like a man. Like a man that's on the streets. That look like a man, a real man, not a boy, a man on the streets. And I'm going to say, I'm on the streets right now. I'm homeless. Can you help me out with something to eat? I said, that easy. They might ask me, huh? I said, I'm homeless right now. You know what I'm saying? Can you help me out with something to eat? Oh, yeah, I got you. What you want? What you want? Pick whatever you want. I done seen a manager take a card and pay for the whole thing. Like a gift card. It must have been a gift card. McDonald's gift card. Because they had some McDonald's stuff on it. But she just used the gift card. So I guess everybody ate off the gift cards. She, including her. So she just paid for my whole, I had everything. And then you'll have somebody stand out in front of the store and ask for change and try to get a little burger, a little McDouble. Man, I go right into the manager. That's what they respect. Instead of asking the girl in the front, the nice, cute, the cool girl that might be 19, 20, you trying to rap to her halfway, they gonna feel disrespected because you trying to manipulate the customers, the workers, to get what you need. You know what I mean? So they gonna respect it if you come to them man to man, mano a mano, and say, yo, I'm on the streets, can you help me with something to eat? Okay? That's how I did it. I've done it at Wendy's, Subway, Pizza Hut. I go into Pizza Hut, this is what I do in Pizza Hut when I'm on the streets. And you can use this when you get your own place. I just don't eat from them places no more. That's the only reason I don't go there. I would have been done that. I would have been done it. Especially when I I got something to eat. But if I ate at half of these places, man, I go out there. You go out there to Domino's. Like in this neighborhood, they got a Domino's, right? You go and ask them, do they got any messed up orders that they gonna throw away? They might ask you to repeat yourself because they don't usually hear it. So, like, yo, do you got any messed up orders? Huh? What do you say? You got any messed up orders that's been called in that you gonna throw away? I promise you, this is what they do every time in any pizza shop. They go to a certain spot and look, because they got a designated spot for people that made orders, but for whatever reason, they didn't get them. They didn't call it, or they couldn't afford the food, or whatever. You know what I mean? And so they call it in, so they go through that all the time. They got a certain spot designated for it. They'll look at it and look at and see which one it is and give me a whole box of pizza, no lie. While people are standing in front of the pizza shop. So I've always had a head honcho attitude, even when I'm on the streets. I'm on the streets, I go straight to the manager at the pizza shop. Yo, can you help me with something to eat? Once I realized what they was doing, I go in and talk about it like I worked there. Yo, y'all got any messed up orders today? Oh yeah, we got some messed. One time I got like 2 boxes of pizza. 2 whole boxes of pizza, large pizza, man. I ate till my heart was content, till I couldn't even eat no more. I mean, can you imagine the sweetness of that on the streets? I'm on the streets, eating till my heart is content, bro. Pizza, Papa John's, I'm eating and then there's somebody else who go pay for it. I'm eating till my heart is content. Can you imagine how much pleasure I had in that? I was in Orlando when that happened. I was in Orlando, Florida. And I just I'll find the pizza spots on my phone and call them and say, yo, y'all got any messed up orders? They be like, yo, what? Do you got any messed up orders y'all gonna throw away? Hold on, let me check. This is how it used to be, but it's probably not like that now. Oh yeah, we got like 2 or 3 boxes. Okay, I'm on my way. I'm down there now. I'm just figuring out Orlando as a city. I go down there and give me 2 boxes of pizzas, no lie. Boom. Ate till my heart was content, bro, till I couldn't eat no more. If you go hungry on the streets in America, it's because you're not a lion. You can become a lion, but you're not a lion. A lion is not going to be hungry with all these restaurants. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to talk like a grown man. I'm not going to play with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go in there and talk like a grown man. If you hungry in America, because you ain't a lion. That's the test. I walk like a lion out there, bro. I'm going to get it. I'm going to every store. I'm going to every restaurant till I eat, buddy. I'm going to Burger King. I done been to every restaurant you can think about. I done got burgers from Whoppers from Burger King. Whole Whoppers, like 2 of them. I ain't got nothing to eat. I go in there and get 2 Whoppers. Boom. Know what I mean? I smashed both of them. I'm a homeless on the street. I smashed both of them. I done been to every store you could think about. Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, Papa John's, Domino's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went to Domino's somewhere. Oh yeah. There's always a place. You know what I mean? There's always a place. I remember, like with Domino's, at that time, my hustle was good. Like, well, I go into a store. I know you about to order food. I'll walk up to you while you're in the line. Yo, can you help me out with something to eat? But my approach be so smooth. Well, I'm not saying you're obligated. I'm asking you. And so this dude see me in a Domino's, no lie. He said, get whatever you want. This white dude paid for me. I got a pizza and the chicken wing or some breadsticks or whatever. I got all of that. I think I got a soda too. I got it all separate. Wasn't even a deal, bro. No, just what I wanted off the menu. And I sat there. No, listen. This is one of the best days of my life. I got the pizza right that day. This was in Santa Cruz, California, where they made that movie Us with the black people, the horror movie. I was in that city before it happened, before they made that movie. If you notice in the movie, it's talking about Santa Cruz, right? Santa Cruz, California. I was on the streets in Santa Cruz. So in Santa Cruz, I had one of the best days of my life. That dude gave me a box of Domino's. He bought me a Domino's pizza, cheese sticks, and the soda. I think I got the snacks too. I think I got the little desserts. He said, get all what you want. When somebody tell me that, listen, I'm not gonna be shy. Oh, I just get the cheese sticks. I'll be good. No. I'll get the cheese sticks. You crazy. He tell me get what I want. I know that's what he want me to do. I'm a giver myself. So if I tell you to get what you want, I want you to get what you want. I want you to get what you want so you eat till your heart is content. Right? And so I'm not gonna be nice to a fault and say, yo, I'll just get the cheese sticks. Nah. That ain't using nobody. He just told me. He told me to get what I want. I got me a whole pizza. I got me cheese sticks, everything. So I'm like eating, right? Around the Domino's neighborhood in Santa Cruz. So I'm still on my hustle though, right? Like this is one of the best times I was on my hustle. I was like getting scratch offs, everything at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I done got a scratch off and got a bus ticket out of where I was at. Out of Orlando. I said and hustled and got me a bus ticket, enough for a bus ticket for the scratch offs. Know what I'm saying? Just kept scratching them off. Asked people for a couple dollars, go give me some more scratch offs. Boom. Got enough money for a ticket. I done that before. Off scratch offs. Scratching it off. Get you enough ticket to leave town. Boom. I'm talking about I spend the whole day doing it. Like a hustler, man. A street hustler. You out there with nothing, bro. You make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So this day, I was in Santa Cruz in California. And I already got the Domino's pizza, everything. So I'm like eating kind of like near a neighborhood. Like near this skating, kind of like a skate portal kind of place. It looked like a skate portal kind of place. I mean, cause kids probably was skating by there or something. So anyway, I'm asking everybody, cause I got pizza, but I need a cell phone. I ain't got a cell phone. So I'm off grid. Every night, I ain't got no cell phone. I'm butt naked as far as a cell phone. So I'm like, I need me a cell phone. So I'm like, I'm hustling for that. I got the food, but I'm hustling for the cell phone. Kid you not, bro. This is no lie. It's a true story. God knows it's the truth. So this one dude came by, and I'm like, yo, can you help me with any kind of money you can help me? I'm trying to get a cell phone. This dude said just like this. Wait right here. Pointing his finger, wait right here. He ran and jogged. He said, he ain't say nothing what he was gonna do. He said, wait right here. So I figured he was gonna get something. He jogged, he ran, he came back and gave me $100. A Benjamin Franklin, $100 bill. And that's how I got my cell phone in Santa Cruz, California. I had pizza, everything. Then a dude walked right by me. I opened my mouth. That's why. Listen, you can't tell me about surviving, man. That's something you can't tell me about. Closed mouths don't get fed, as they say. You know what I'm saying? I opened up my mouth. I told him, yo, man, I need me I'm trying to get a cell phone, everything like that. Man, the dude told me, yo, wait right here. Dude came back, gave me $100 bill. Boom. Here you go. Just like that. And I just told him what I was doing. He was like, well, what next? What's after this? What next? And unfortunately, man, that's the hopelessness of the streets. You really can't tell nobody what's next. You know what I'm saying? But I was just telling him, yeah, I need a phone on the streets. He was like, what next? What's next? What happens after that? I couldn't answer that, really. You know what I mean? But he helped me get me a cell phone, get back in vogue and everything. With that much money, I got me some headphones and a cell phone, that's how I used to like to do it when I was younger. I like to get me the Sony headphones. Everybody know them Sony headphones. I get the Sony headphones and I get me a cell phone at one time. That's how I used to like to do it when I was young. No, now these days I don't even care about headphones. That's how I know I done got older. Man, I could get it, but I don't care about it. I just don't. But but when I was younger, I used to get my cell phone and my headphones at the same time. Now I just get a cell phone now. But really, I actually have become more mature. If I got the money, I'll get the Bluetooth. I'll get me a Bluetooth for a speaker. That's what I like now. Cell phone and a speaker. So my next little bit of money, I'll probably get a Bluetooth before I get a cell phone. I mean a headphones. I like the Bluetooth. Even walking around, I like walking around with the Bluetooth. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm eventually get it, but yeah, I gotta get some things in place. But yeah, that was one of the best days of my life, man. That dude, I had pizza, I had $100 bills. I think it was too late that night, so I went the next day. You know what I mean? But I did everything as planned with that money. I got me a cell phone, I got me a headset, headphones, headed to the next city. Did everything like I needed to do. I saved enough money, I hustled and got me that money for the next ticket, got out of Santa Cruz. I like that little city though. I like Santa Cruz. It was a nice little city. It's a nice little city. You know what I mean? It's a lot of room to move around. You can stay, but I did bump into some street people. I like it to where I don't bump into them for more than one reason. For my peace, for my place to sleep at night, where I ain't got to worry about somebody around while I sleep. And there's no competition. The places ain't worn down from people begging for food. If you got a place where it's a whole bunch of homeless people, you can be assured the stores is burnt out on the people. They're not gonna take you seriously. If you in a place where ain't no homeless people, everybody gonna take you seriously. Which means all the restaurants is gonna help you with food. All the people in the area is gonna help you with food because they ain't being weighed down by a whole bunch of begging people. So you gotta spread out on the streets. You can't click up. The only people that's clicking up is the people that do drugs. Because they put their money together out of desperation. It's just better. Just common sense. But if you ain't on no drugs and you good and clean like me, it's no need. Why would you click up with people that's most likely doing drugs anyway? They got vices anyway. People think the clean homeless man don't exist no more. That's why it's a lonely place in the streets for a clean man that ain't got no vices. That's why people will think something wrong with you. Well, how you on the streets? Because everybody left the shelter alone. They began to do a study that found that people that rather be on the streets than go to the shelter has better mental health. You would think it's the other way around. But I actually seen a study, you can look it up online, where they found that people that take to the streets rather than go to a shelter have better mental health than people that go to the shelter. That study was done around 2016, something like that. And it's true because I stopped going into the shelter when I perceived it as crazy for crazy people. When I looked around and I opened my eyes, I was like, hold up, nah. I'd rather be on the streets and be free as a hustler. You know what I'm saying? I done came up off the streets I showed you. Where I'm eating better than people in the shelter. I got more resources. I make my own resources. All these people on the streets, I'm gonna talk to the right people. I'm gonna eventually do that. I'm gonna get money, and I'm getting off the streets. So in some cases, I'd have had men and women get me off the streets. I'd have had that happen. I'd have had women take me home. I got some stories for you, man. More black woman and a white woman. I'd have had a white woman take me home, homeless. She knows I'm homeless. I'd have had a white woman take me home. I'd have had a black woman take me home. And, to their house. And I'm a complete stranger. You know what I mean? That's coast to coast, too. California to Florida. And just other people, too. Other people. I'm that type of dude. That's why I act the way I do. If I want to get off the streets, if I don't have to be in no shelter type place. It's just depending on what type of living I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? If I was living like I was, I'll just take to the streets and eventually I'm gonna hustle my way out of these situations. And I done found people that got me off the streets just crazy. Just crazy situations, man. Yeah. And my hustle game was good at both times. Like, for example, with the white girl that picked me up off the streets. She was a blonde hair, blue-eyed white girl. Curly hair, everything. And I was standing in front of a grocery store early in the morning. And she said something to me. I forgot I asked her for if she had any money because she helped me out with a couple dollars. And I think she might have gave me something. I think she might have did. And I complimented her on her shirt. I liked her shirt. And somehow we started talking about what she gonna be doing later on. What is she doing later on? She was like, nothing. I was like, well, you think I can get your number? Like that. She gave me her number, right? So I started texting her whatever. I was like, what you doing? She was like, nothing really. And somehow we got on the conversation of her coming to come and get me. You want me to come back and get you? And all whatever. Man, she came back and got me and everything. As soon as I got the number, I started texting her. She came back around, picked me up. Me and her went to the store, got some liquor. So I'm sitting on her porch, drinking liquor, having a great conversation. But see, before we went back to get the liquor and all of that, I took her to McDonald's and I ran the hustle that I do. And I went into the store and I asked the lady, could they hook me up with something to eat? Like I told you, like the manager. So I asked the manager, can she help me out with something to eat? This was like, 8 years ago. That's why I had to think. I'm like, oh. So this was like 8 years ago. So anyway, man, I went to McDonald's and got me and her a combo. No lie. I was like, yeah, I'm on the streets. Can you help me out with something to eat? That was my hustle. I told her I was going to go there and do it. She drove me up to the McDonald's. I got out. She thought I was just going to do it for myself. I was like, I'm with a friend, right? I said, I'm with a friend. You think you can help me with This is how I am. I was like, I'm with a friend. You think you can help give me something for her to eat too? I walked away with 2 combos. 2 Big Macs, no lie. Fries and everything. Yep, fries too. But definitely I walked away with 2 Big Macs for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's free. So that's how strong I was on my hustle game on the streets. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a real stand-up guy, head honcho kind of guy on the streets. I ain't gonna walk around and I can't feed myself. and I can't do nothing for myself. It's too much food around there. It's too much food around here. How you can't eat on the streets? If you homeless, if you can't eat on the streets, I realize that person got to be mentally sick. They got to be. They got to be mentally sick. If you can't eat on the streets, it's too much food in America. And my main thing lately in 2025, when I was homeless the last time, I'll go to the Chinese spots. They got all that rice. It might sound funny, but they got all that rice. They ain't gonna think about them telling you no. Especially good Chinese people. Think about them, or Japanese people. Think about them telling you no. I done had them all feed me. Japanese, Vietnamese, Chinese. Vietnamese guy, man, I went in there, I asked for some rice. I just asked for plain rice and soy sauce, right? Most Asian people ain't gonna deny you. It's too much. Too much rice. They gonna throw it away. Soy sauce is nothing. I'll give you soy sauce and rice. I done it before. That soy sauce and rice so good. We on the streets, man, I tear it up, man. So one day, I'm in North Carolina at this point, and this is my first time being in a Vietnamese shop. So our young guys is in there, like in their 20s or whatever, you know, young cool guys. So I was like, yo, y'all think y'all can help me out with something to eat? He was like, yeah, wait right here. He said, come here. Stand right here. So I stood in the smoking spot. They had like a smoking spot. I stood over there and waited. He came out and gave me an iced tea. That's the first thing he gave me. He gave me an iced tea. I'm like, oh, thank you, man. He gave me an iced tea. He came out and gave me a whole thing, right? I'm thinking it's rice, but God already knows what I eat and what I don't eat. God is telling me, eat whatever is in there, eat it. Basically, God's telling me to do that. I opened it up. He had 3 different types of meat, shrimp, everything in there. He had shrimp, meat, everything in there. Over the rice. This is Vietnamese food. This is my first time eating Vietnam food, Vietnam cuisine. It was delicious, man. It was one of the best meals. But I had to go in there and open up my mouth. A lion is gonna eat on the streets, bro. I'm gonna go to each one of these places. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be hungry on the streets. If you hungry on the streets, that's because you don't have survival skills. You don't know how to survive, bro. You don't know. If you couldn't have a woman on the streets, ain't no way in the world me and a woman be hungry on the streets. I'm that type of dude. Me and her gonna have food. We gonna wash our butt. Even if we gotta go to these little fast food restaurants and take bird baths and take some paper towels into the stall and wipe your feet, that's the first thing. Your feet gonna be funky on the streets, especially if you live in a hot city. You gotta wash your feet. You gotta get your feet clean. More than anything else, you gotta get them feet clean, boy. You get your feet clean, get your underarms clean, get your other parts clean. That's it. You get your torso good, boom. You get to your legs, you might not, but you get your torso, cause all the sweat. You get your private parts. You know, you get your feet. That's it. You get your face, good, boom. You out of there. You teach a woman to do the same thing. Go in there, get your feet clean, get your butt clean, get all that good stuff clean. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world I ain't gonna eat on the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I kept my mental health immaculate. While people try to trigger on me, listen, man, they in a world of trouble. I hate to tell you. I'm a soul survivor. I'm a street survivor, buddy. I just showed you how. It's one thing to say it. I just spoke so much game, ain't no way you can doubt it. Ain't no way you can doubt me. See, that's the difference between being a young nigga on the streets and a bum on the streets. A bum will sit right in front of the restaurant. Man, why you ain't get a relationship with this dude by now? You been there every day. Man, if I was at the same bodega every day, I'll get a sandwich, I get coffee. I'm that type of dude. I'm a stand-up dude. I'm gonna get coffee, a hero. I'm getting all of that. I'm getting all of that. And then guess what? I'm gonna keep that bodega clean. I ain't gonna stand out there and trash. You got some bums to see trash all on the ground. Like, bro, it's a give and take situation. You hustling in front of his bodega. At least keep it clean. You feel me? See, you gotta be like, it's all how you raised. If you raised right, even when you're on the streets, man, people can see signs of it, man. Like if I sit in front of a bodega, I'm gonna clean the whole bodega. For example, when I used to be at a gas station in North Carolina and I'm hustling out there to get what I need, I'm gonna clean up the whole gas station area. You're gonna be like, okay, you got a pass, you good. Cause I done cleaned up the whole gas station. Ain't nothing on the ground. All the cigarette butts, all of that stuff gone. I'm doing that while I'm waiting for people to come through. You know what I mean? I'm cleaning up the gas station, then I post back up like boom. Okay, I already done cleaned up the whole gas station. I know you cool with that. Now I know you cool with my position. You glad to see me coming. Hey, how you doing? Cause you know I'm gonna clean it up. See, that's how you gotta be on the streets. You gotta clean up these establishments that's in front of you. They won't even let the police mess with you. The manager say, nah, he's good. The police can't do nothing if the manager say I'm good. What he gonna do? Most police ain't gonna go that far unless you attack them personally, or unless you know. But if the manager say you good, he gonna back way off of you. As a matter of fact, the next time he see you, he gonna have a different respect for you. He gonna look at you differently. If once you get defended, you get defended by one of these managers, yeah, he gonna look at you differently. Oh, okay, we just wanted to make sure. Now you know. So next time you see me, bro, listen, you know I'm a head honcho out here on these streets, a soul survivor. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of these dirty butts. I ain't one of these lame dudes out here. You know what I'm saying? It's a give and take situation with the community. That's how I'm gonna do it. If I come out here and I take a couple dollars off of an establishment that I'm sitting up and panhandling from, I'm at least keep that sidewalk good. That sidewalk gonna be good. Ain't gonna be no trash on the ground. I'm gonna do that while I'm waiting. I'm standing right there. I'm gonna do that while I'm waiting. I'm gonna keep the sidewalk gonna be good. Everything. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, that's a different kind of dude. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. He just worked for it. He just worked for it to stand right there for me. That's what some dude is sitting there looking. Hey, he good for me. Cause every time he come around here, he clean up. Oh yeah, that's straight. He cool with me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look out for him on a sandwich or something. Yo, you want a sandwich? Yeah. Thank you. You know you earned it. Yeah. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? You got this stuff straight out there. You know what I'm saying? That's how you carry yourself. See, that's the difference between North Carolina and all these different places. We get bred like that. You stand in front of an establishment, okay, just earn your key. You know what I'm saying? Earn your key. Stand out there, you know what I'm saying, cleaning up the place. Don't ask everybody. Don't be harassing. You know, if you look at somebody's face and they don't look like they want to be talked to, don't ask them for nothing. Don't ask, they ain't mean you scared. You can look at that person. That person does not want to talk. Don't ask them for nothing. They see the position. They see what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. I never had no super problems on the streets with when I used to hustle and have to get stuff, have to fend for myself and get food. Closed mouths don't get fed. You know what I'm saying? You go to these restaurants, you ask them for food. I done been to KFC and got a whole bucket of chicken. The manager told me, come back at the end of the night. I rode my bike up there, got a whole bucket of chicken look at that. On the streets, eating a whole bucket of chicken at KFC, buddy. That's when I was in Tampa. All the cities I lived in. That's when I was in Tampa. You know what I'm saying? I talked to the manager, yo, can I get something to eat? Come back after 10. This is how I hustle, man. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be on the streets and these restaurants got all this food. And I don't get none of it. And they gonna just throw it away, or they burnt out on it. They gonna take it to their kids. They gonna take it home. They burnt out on it. They just glad to give somebody else the food for a change. They just glad because it ain't gonna do nothing but sit in their refrigerator until they ain't got nothing else to eat. No, they might eat on it. You give it to the dogs. Some people might even give it to their dogs, man. Work at KFC, you think they taking that food home for themselves? They done start feeding their dog that food, bro. No, I'm serious. They done start feeding their dog that food. And you thought they was missing it. She tell you, yeah, I feed my dog Sherry this food. If you wouldn't have got it, Sherry would have got it. Sherry would have got that. I done got a whole bucket of chicken from KFC. And these dudes say they lions on the street. You lions and you ain't eating. I done proved it. You can go to any of these stores, any KFC, chicken places, everything, man. If you ain't eating on the streets, man, something wrong with you, man. That's something. You ain't a head honcho. A head honcho is not going hungry on the streets of America. You crazy. That's how I can prove my mental health. You doubt mine? I can give you stories to show you my mental health. Because that's the difference between a homeless person and a drug addict or someone on the streets. Or somebody that got mental health on the streets. They don't want nothing to eat anyway, really. You know, nah, that's true. A homeless, bona fide homeless person, a head honcho, I'm eating on the streets, bro. That's facts. Man, ain't no way in the world I ain't eating on the streets. You crazy. You tell me they got all this food and I ain't gonna eat? I ate at every place you could think about. Crystals, them Crystal burgers. I remember I went to this one Crystal Burgers, man. This woman looked like Diana Ross, man. I'm no lie. This woman had a face like Diana Ross. The eyes, everything. Complexion, nose, face, everything. I had to say it. It was so striking of a resemblance. I was like, hey, man, you know. I put on my Smokey Robinson voice. Hey, man, you know, put on my Smokey Robinson voice. Hey, man, you know, hey, you know, somebody told you look like Diana Ross. Put on my Smokey Robinson voice. Hey, man, you know, she was like, yeah. She said people told her that all the time, especially when she was younger. She looked like Diana Ross, man. I don't forget nothing, man. I went there asking for something to eat. I got something to eat too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere, that's the Crystals restaurant, the Crystal Burgers in the South. It's the equivalent of like White House, like the Castle, White Castle, y'all call it up here. White Castle. We got Crystals in the South. They got the same little burgers and things like that. The sliders, you know. So I mean, I done went to everything you could think about. I done went to grocery stores. You could do it like that too. Go in the grocery store, yo, you think you can buy me something to eat? Psh. I done hustled in every form and fashion. And then it keeps you connected to humanity too. And you get love from humanity, and that keeps you going too. You know what I mean? That keeps you going too. Somebody reach out and show love, that goes a long way on the streets, at least for the day. You got your love for the day, you know? And, you know, I done had beautiful women give me something to eat. I done had beautiful women, man. Man. People you can't forget. You can't, they so beautiful you can't forget them. You know, it's just no excuse. If you've been on the streets, if you know, you've been on the streets and you don't know how to hustle, that shows you your mental health. That shows you your mental health right there. If you go out there on the streets and you just walking around with a towel on in the freezing cold, I done seen it, man. People that just break your heart. It's so cold outside. Like, how can you be out here like that? With something wrapped around you, you know them type of dude. You see something wrapped around him, you know he's still cold. Like, man, how can you be out here like that, man? You know what I mean? It's just sad, man. But for me, if I'm on the streets, I'm gonna eat. That's one thing I'm gonna do. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be on the streets and I won't eat. If somebody tell me they hungry on the streets, I know you got bad mental health. That's the only way, that's the only thing that makes sense. Cause you can sit in front of a store all day until you get something to eat, bro. Until you get $5. You get something. Some days are better than others. You might walk away with like $5. You got to make that $5 count. You know what I'm saying? And you got to keep a good posture. You can't curse the world. You can't curse. You can't give up on God. You know, that's why I tell people, man, the best boot camp is being homeless on the streets. It's closest thing to being in the military. That's the closest thing to it. You gotta fend for yourself. You in the elements. You out there in the wild. You gotta watch your back. You become more bold and brave because you sleeping out on the streets. Anybody could do anything to you. So you either gonna be scared or you just gonna Become one with the streets. Become one with the jungle. That's all you can do. You're vulnerable. You could have been killed at any time. But you survived. You could have been killed. And that's why you don't let nobody disrespect you. As a matter of fact, it was this one dude in Florida that got killed on the streets. He was homeless and somebody just killed him for fun. Just killed him. Imagine that. That's a homeless person's worst nightmare, dog. This dude get killed on the streets. They found the crazy dude, I think, too. I think they showed pictures of him. Old crazy bugged out dude. If you got that much juice, you might as well make money. If you a killer like that, you might as well get paid for it. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying if you a killer like that, you might as well go ahead and rob somebody or something. If you at the end of your rope like that, why not just try to get money? That's the mentality of many people. If I'm at my wit's end like that, I'm just gonna get money and wild out. And whatever happens. I ain't finna catch nobody like that. Some homeless person. Man, I'm finna just wild out and get money. That's what I'm gonna do. And not care. I'm just gonna go in and not care. Instead of killing somebody. Cause I look at it like that's the circle that's the cycle of life. You know, if I take this money, America ain't gonna miss this money. I mean, you gonna replace that money, and I'm gonna be okay, and you gonna be okay, and ain't nobody gonna not be okay. And if you work at an establishment, you don't try to be a hero. I had to tell this one white woman. One day I was walking, like I was on the streets then. This white woman, just when I pulled up on the scene, walked up on the scene, right? This white woman running out the store after these two young black kids. They were kids too, like early teenage years. I told her, I said, yo, as she's a white woman, I said, yo, you don't need to be running after them people. She was like, oh no, they stole from the store and stuff. They something like that. I was like, nah, I don't think she liked me. I don't think she took it the right way either. I meant it the right way, but you don't have to run after these people. You know, if somebody's out here, man, yo, this stuff is gonna get replaced. You don't run behind kids that could feel threatened by you and turn around and hurt you. Pull out a knife or something, cut your face up or something. You know, you don't run after no criminals. You're not built like that. This woman was running after criminals, running after two kids stealing from the store. I stopped and told her, I said, yo, don't run after nobody. Don't ever run after nobody like that. You don't know what they'll turn around and do. Some kids on drugs or something. Think about it. You don't know. They might did a couple lines of coke or something. You don't know. On some weird stuff. You know, when you're young, you be experimenting. You don't know what they on. Chemicals. Some on the weed. Some little chemicals on the weed. Remember them young years? They put chemicals on something. Or smoking chemicals. Them young years, the worst years when it comes to that kind of stuff. You don't know what them kids on. What kind of pills? They taking some kind of pills, mixed pills and stuff? You don't know. I see you, a young lad stealing from the store. Guess what, buddy? Hey, listen, you can have it, buddy. Go ahead. You can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you like, buddy. Because guess what? I don't get paid to run after you. Like Suge Knight say, I don't get paid for police work, buddy. Sure don't. Sure don't. I don't get paid for police work. So guess what? You listen, I don't get paid for police work. You want some couple sandwiches? Go ahead, buddy. Listen. More power to you. I ain't got nothing to do with it, because you know what? I know your karma gonna catch up to you anyway. Go ahead. No, go ahead, buddy. I'm gonna keep letting you do it. Every day you do it. And I guarantee you, one day, you listen, I'm gonna see you with bad karma one day. I ain't even calling the police. Nope. If you get out of control, you know what I'm saying? If you just come in and just, what they call it, crash and smash and grab and all that. If you do it like that, yeah, I might, if I was working I might have to, right? But if you just come in, get a sandwich or whatever, you come out, listen, bro, Been there, done that. I've been on the streets. I'm a better hustler than you. I would have just came straight to the person. You should have came straight to me. I would have gave you stuff at the end of the night that was gonna be thrown away. But instead, you want to come out here and try to steal. You ain't a man. A real man gonna come and talk to another man. That's what men do. If a real man is on the streets, can you imagine me not talking to a real man about what I'm going through? he gonna relate to that. That's a matter of fact. That same store that I'm telling you about, it was a dude that worked there, and he befriended me and gave me like a whole bag of like donuts at the end of the night. That same store where them dudes ran out and stole from, I went to that same exact store and got like a whole bag of like pastries and donuts and everything consistently. And then this guy let me live with him. This is a dude that worked at the 7-Eleven. He said, yo, you can come live with me, man. I got off the streets and everything. No lie. And all I did was just show I'm professional. I came up there, you know what I'm saying? At the time I smoked cigarettes, he smoked cigarettes, so we'll sit out there and smoke. Cause me, at that time, like, you know, when I used to smoke cigarettes, tobacco is tobacco. I don't have to smoke a certain brand. A cigarette is a cigarette. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard it's not that deep. You know what I mean? So I would sit out there, and he used to smoke Marlboro Reds, right? So me and him smoked the Marlboro Reds and just talk. And eventually he just thought, you can come live with me, man. And it was a good experience, and he said he never met nobody like me, and it was great. It was a great experience for what it was, you know. But that's me being homeless, straight homeless from the street, and the good person see who I am. I'm a head honcho. I'm not gonna be on the streets. Even if I went back to the streets right now and stayed consistently on the streets, it's no way I'm gonna be on the streets for so long if I put myself out there. Now, if I chose to be hidden, I can do that too. Then I won't meet nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because I chose to be away from the community. But if I engage the community, it's just a matter of time for somebody to see who I am, and they just say, yo, I'll help you off the streets, man, if you need a place to live. You know, and those type of situations never went too wrong. You know what I'm saying? Never went too wrong because their hearts was already good, if that makes sense. So it never went too bad. You might think it will, but with somebody that has the heart to get you off the streets, it's not gonna go but so bad unless it's on you. You do something that is crazy. Like for example, that same white guy. This was a Texan dude from Texas. He from San Antonio, Texas. White boy, Marine, military, ex-veteran military. So I started living with him. Cool dude. You know, at that time I'm drinking, you know what I'm saying? So I'm partying, I'm having fun, we eating good. But he messes up by allowing another guy to come live with us, which he thought he was gonna be like me, and then we would be probably like brothers or something. And he would feel like a father with 2 kids. It wasn't like that. This dude came in, this is the difference between a hustler, a street hustler survivor, and somebody that's just trifling. That's why they on the streets in the first place. This dude came in and was just throwing food around on the ground, yelling in this man's face, yelling in this guy's face, and this is his place to live. This is a black man yelling in the white man's face. It's already a bad impression. I'm not saying you can't fall out with him and argue with him if you got to and be in their face if you got to. But it didn't make sense. It was about something about him smoking in the house. He wasn't supposed to be smoking. I smoked too at that time. But I ain't smoking in the house because that's how he ain't want it. He ain't want to get started. Now this man smokes himself. And he got the discipline not to smoke in his own house. And you gonna smoke in his house? And he doesn't even smoke in his house. Now he was a veteran too. He did tours in Iraq. And but see, he messed that up. He sabotaged. That dude got us kicked out because I fell out with him. You should have knew a stand-up guy like me, a head honcho. You know I'm gonna fall out with this dude. That's the one military dude I offered to a fight. I offered him to a fight. I offered a real military dude to a fight. Yeah, and he declined. You know, and I think he kind of regretted that because he telling me what he would have done or whatever. He was scared, man. I offered him out to the yard. I was out there in the yard. Come on out here, come on. We was already arguing back and forth. I called him out there to the yard. He was scared. You know what I'm saying? So I done offered a real military dude to a fight and everything. I mean, and young too. Younger than me. He was younger than me. He was already a veteran and he was younger than me. He was a veteran military, younger than me, which means me and him had the same level of strength. But this was a trained military man. He was scared. He didn't come out. He didn't take the challenge. So that tells you what type of man I am. Forget what you heard. That's what it is right there. That's what kind of heart I got. Okay, so like I said, man, you know, it's all about surviving. It really is. It's all about surviving, and it's just sad, man, that some people that's involved in our community know nothing about life and what it consists of. Because being on the streets, I learned what life was about. You see the patterns. You have time to think. It's people that depend on these secret societies for money and fame and whatever the reasons they do it. And they wind up not still making mistakes that's detrimental. And this is a perfect case. They played with me, destroyed all their reputation. All their reputation. All the Freemason reputation down the drain. All of it. And they call themselves builders. See, I'm aware of who they are. They call themselves builders and whatever. They talk about science and building things and all that. I already know about all that. But you contradicted yourself. Instead of building, you destroyed your own community. Ironically, how ironic, a Freemason destroys instead of building. That's what you claim to do, is build, but you destroy. In the end, you destroyed America. That's life. I can't tell you how those things happen. People that call themselves builders, they just they pride themselves on being builders. I mean, we all are builders. I mean, you know, but you know, they pride themselves on being builders. And then in the end, as far as American Freemasons, they destroyed America. They destroyed the United States. Gang stalking and everything. Trying to be right. See, that's a white American hang up. I don't care if I'm right or wrong a lot of times. Sometimes you're going to be wrong. And you know what? You got to humble yourself. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're wrong about somebody, see, these cops, when they're wrong about somebody, they can't rest. They just feel like they gotta be right, you know? And that's how you play yourself, man. If you're wrong, you're wrong. It's what it is. You know, it's just, to me, I don't look at it as being it's just an arrogant mentality to be wrong, to keep going and you know you're wrong, right? How are you gonna overcome that? How you gonna get out that situation? You start problems, you know you're wrong, but you keep going. That's why we think it's American supremacy. It's American supremacy, right? Where you're wrong and you can't accept it. It's a certain type of personality, man, that operates like that. And me personally, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. If I'm wrong sometimes, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong sometimes, I'm wrong. But you know, I don't know. I don't have that hang up. I don't have that hang up. You know? If you're wrong, you're wrong. You can't prove something either. You can't prove it. You gotta go away. But it's a certain type of arrogant spirit that's in our community that even though they know they can't prove it, and that's where you're supposed to walk away in the game of life. In the game of life, even when you deal with these gangsters, you can't prove it, right? Then you gonna walk away from gangsters. That's how I feel. If you're wrong, right, and you play with gangsters, you gonna walk away. Also, if you can't prove it, you gonna walk away from gangsters, right? You gonna walk away from gangsters 100%. You gonna be glad to be done with the situation. If you couldn't prove it, you're gonna be glad, even police, because with real head honcho gangsters, they can put your family in trouble. They can put your whole community in trouble. They can put your life in danger. They can put your family in danger, right? So when it comes, I'm showing you how the police think, and I know they think this, and I'm just making you aware. If a policeman know that he dealing with a gangster, right? Well, this person can kill the judges with his case, his family, his wife, his kids, everything is in danger with playing with these head honchos, right? If you sense that kind of danger and that kind of threat, you're just gonna be glad to be done with it if you can't prove it. If you can't prove it, you're just glad to be done with it. If you're not right, you don't have a problem with being wrong in this situation. You don't. So I just want you to know that I know that if it was somebody that you feared, like these gangsters in New York or in the outer areas, in the tri-state area, if it was some gangsters that you feared, you would just be glad to be done with this if you couldn't prove anything. And that's for police and street people. I just want you to know that I know how it really is. And how it really is if somebody was really a threat to you, but you still held your ground on feeling like this person did something, right? Let's just say you still held your ground. Once you found out you couldn't prove it, and that that person contradicted what you were told, you just glad to be done with it. That's the average person. They glad to be done with the situation. So it's not, what I'm trying to show America is, or the world is that it's not that they being tough. It's not that it's something questionable. It's not. We already addressed that, right? You'll be glad to be done with it if it was gangsters. You thought I was somebody to play with. It's not the crime. I'm trying to. If you're not smart, you won't understand what I'm telling you right now. It's not the nature of the crime. Even if it was a gangster that was considered a pedophile, this gangster was considered a pedophile. You know he's a threat, right? You know he's a threat against your family, but you've been told he was a pedophile, right? Okay, so you realize he's not. You see he got a wife, he got a family. You heard that he got a son in the world like me. I got a kid. You know, you hear all these things. You see his life. You see the patterns of his life for X amount of time. This, mind you, at the same time, this person is a threat against you, right? Where he could do something to you. But you're going through with the investigation anyway. You find out this guy's squeaky clean. Not just clean, squeaky clean, right? You're going to stop that investigation. I don't care what it's about. It could be about children. You're going to be glad to be done with it. And it don't matter what it was about. And I know this about you. I know that if it was a gangster that you are afraid of, whoever that might be, you wouldn't care if he butt raped 10 million children. If he butt raped 10 million children, but you couldn't prove it, but this person is an extreme threat against you and your well-being and your family, I don't care if he raped 10 million children. You gonna let it go. Because you couldn't prove it. I can show you these cops right now that's scared, that will fold all the way up with real gangsters that they are afraid of. All they looking for is playing by the book with those people. That's all they doing. They ain't going unorthodox like they try to do with me. You're not fooling me. I know with the right gangster, you wouldn't play no unorthodox games. In fact, you're going to go totally, you're going to go fully by the book. Okay, we couldn't find nothing on them, we done. We done here. And you're going to talk, you're going to be just like that. You ain't going to say, well, what about this? What if we try this? You ain't going to do none of that. And that's what I'm talking about. So what would you think? It's not about children. That's what you would think. Because even I proved to you, I stayed on subject. If it's a pedophile accusation of whatever sort it is, he butt raped 10 million children. If you couldn't prove one of those kids got butt raped, it's over. And guess what? You are going to want it to be over because of the threat, the impending threat against your family. You're going to want it to be over. And guess what? It don't matter if it was about 10 million children being butt raped. You're going to let it go because of the threat against your family. And I guarantee you that, buddy. So that proves it right there. That because we ain't seen with our history where if there's a gangster that they're afraid of, that these police and authorities are afraid of, that they'll keep going and knowing they ain't got no charges. They ain't gonna keep going. No, they not. No, they not. Not in American history. Not with American gangsters. No, you're not. Or the mob. Or the Italian mafia. No, you ain't gonna keep going. You're gonna play by the book. You ain't got nothing. You're gonna let it go. You thought you could play with me for fun. And this is why we gonna get respect like the people you're scared of. We gonna get respect like the people you're afraid of. That's what it's coming to. That's where it's already at. Because I know what these lame people don't know. You afraid of a lot of these people on the streets. Yes, you are. And you're afraid for the right reasons, that they can do something to you and your family. So I know that. I want you to know I know that there's people out there that you're afraid of, that you wouldn't play these same games with. And you and I know that. So you can sit up here and tell these suckers that it's about children, but you ain't gonna play that same game with gangsters. And I know that. You know they not. You especially if they ain't done nothing, you ain't got no crimes, and they get a hunch that you playing with them for no reason. They gonna come get with you, buddy. Right or wrong, gangsters gonna come get with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. You playing around this person and you ain't got no crimes on him. What you think he gonna do? He gonna start targeting your family. He gonna start targeting just like I did. He gonna start targeting your family because you kept playing around this person, bro. Life ain't no game. What's wrong? You on crack? Life ain't no game, bro. You thought I was somebody to play with. And that's when now you see I'm not. I'm your worst nightmare realized. We tearing your whole community apart. We're doing it God's way. And I'm a soul survivor. I come from the streets, literally. Right? So you can't play me like I'm a lame, bruh. I just come from the streets. I've been on the streets less than a year ago. Not even a full year. Less than a year ago, I was on the streets. Homeless. Less than a year ago. On the streets of California. Right or wrong. Okay, so why you playing with me like I'm somebody to play with, bro? See, that's full circle to my message. You got people that, listen, they goofy in their head, right? It's white boys, it's cops and white boys that's goofy in their head and their brain, I'm telling you. They can't think like a normal real nigga. You know what I'm saying? There's some goofy stuff going on in there. And the only way you can get it right is to sober them up with tragedy. You give them tragedy and destruction. That's the only way a white boy, a goofy white boy like that, can get his head on right. You give him some tragedy. You give him some destruction. Yeah, now he looking different. His face is looking different. Think it's a game and it's not, buddy. The most dangerous person I've been around was a hitman for the mafia. I've been around somebody that was a hitman for the mob, buddy. Okay, a person that found camaraderie in me. That's the difference between me and my brother. He ain't been not listen. If Freemason, only reason he been around somebody, Freemasons put him around him. He ain't been around nobody naturally, organically like I have. I was around a hitman for the mob on the West Coast when these gang stalkers wasn't nowhere around. That's what I'm saying. So I actually have been around somebody for the mob. A lot of black people can't say that. I was around somebody that he did hits for the mob. He went city to city killing people. Okay? And me and him, he befriended me, and we befriended each other in Seattle, Washington. He was over there way over there on the West Coast. Well, as much as I travel, you should have knew I was gonna meet killers, man. Come on, that comes with it. You don't travel as much as I do, and you ain't got no stories about no real killers. Think about that. That's impossible. It's almost impossible now that I realize it. Especially here in America, it's impossible for you to travel for years and years, and all the people you meet is what, working people? Not gonna happen. Especially on street level in the jungle. Because they going to fall on hard times. Or maybe they in the streets where they supposed to be. Or where they want to be, right? You're going to meet killers. So that's why I'm tripping off these these goofy white people. And the people influenced by them. These dumb black people. Listen, buddy. Listen. I don't care if you're not scared. I don't stop because you're not scared. Scared is not a black person is quick to tell you they're not scared. So what? You still can die if you're not scared. You know what I learned when I was young? It don't take a scared person to get beat down. It don't take a scared person to get beat up. You could be fearless and still die. So why state that you're not scared? To me, it doesn't make sense. Especially when you're encountering a person. At that point, it's no need to talk about, that's kind of elementary to me, talk about you being scared or not. I mean, who cares? I don't care if you're afraid or not, in other words. I still, listen, you can be fearless as they come and I still defeat you. That's what I want you to understand. That being fearless don't put no S on your chest. You still can get it. You could be confident, not afraid, and still get it. It don't change nothing, buddy. It don't change nothing. It's just in your attitude with you going out. You deciding how your attitude is when you're going out. That's it, basically. So I don't care nothing about you talking about you ain't scared. Who cares? Who said there's anything about fear? That's what I'm saying. I don't care if you're not scared. That's elementary to me. You're not worthy. Listen, I want you to know too, for you secret society people, you're not worthy to be in my presence. You a lame boy, and that we know, don't we? All you did was dress this situation up like you built to be here, and we know you're not, buddy. We well aware of who you really are now, as Americans. If we didn't know who you was before, we know who you are now, don't we? Yes, we do. And guess what we figured out? You're a bunch of misfit lame boys. That's all of you. What's most signature about you is you're a misfit. You couldn't find your own way in life. You don't got your own reputation. I got my own reputation. That's why I'm the opposite of you. It's a yin to a yang. I get my own reputation. You had to join a group to get reputation. I stood on my own and got my respect out the mud. The only way you command respect is because of that group. I stood in my own. I stand on my own. You know, we don't respect nobody like that. No. People gonna respect me because I'm coast to coast with it. I get my respect out the mud everywhere I go. Oh, I done got my respect out of Brooklyn already. Man, everybody see how much this country done changed since I've been here. You gotta be a blind man not to see this stuff. Since October, last year, 2025, since October. See how much done changed since October? You in January, or ain't you? You in January, ain't you? You in January. Look how much done happened in January, buddy. Since October to January, look how much has happened. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. I'm about my Father's business. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna show y'all, listen, for people to think you can pick on Christians, see, I know it's a coward. That's why God used me. Because I know you think you can pick on Christians, but you scared of these killers, ain't you? Yeah. So God used my personality in this situation. Because I know you scared of killers. I know y'all scared of killers. And somehow you thought me and you was the same. Somehow you thought I was somebody to play with. You thought that. Yeah, you did. You thought I was somebody to play with. It didn't have nothing to do with what you talking about, because I proved it that if it would have been somebody else, you would have moved on by now, man. Everybody know that? So you thought you could play with me. It's common sense. And I'm showing you that you played yourself. Okay? You played yourself. If you stuck on age, and you think because you're older than me, listen, age ain't got nothing to do with it. Age ain't gonna win this war right here. You could be the oldest dude in the world. I don't care what that got to do with this. I mean, at face value, let's look at it for what it is. You being old, what that got to do with this? Nothing, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, these people owe me money. They play with my reputation. They call me all this different stuff. They couldn't prove it. We want a bag off of it because we found out they marrying children in America. Y'all old, but y'all didn't know nothing about it. None of these people told you. Dame Dash didn't tell you about child marriage laws. Dame Dash didn't tell you about child marriage laws. Jay-Z didn't tell you about child marriage laws. Kanye West didn't tell you about child marriage laws. You name them. You name all these people. You name them. Name them. Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang didn't tell you about child marriage laws. I'm the only one. So for a clown, he think he done got so familiar with me. We never even knew each other. You just listen to me. You paid attention to me so long, you think you know me. That's what it was. I don't know you. So that's how we know you sit back studying a person. Because somehow you think you know me. You don't know me, bro. Your country didn't say nothing about marrying children. And you still around here, you standing around me like you know me, like I'm your brother. Like I'm somebody to play with, bro. You don't know me, bro. You done heard so much and you've been watching so long, you think you know me, you still don't. Well, if you did, then why you suffering right now? That's how we know you don't. If you studied this person all this time, you still don't know him. How we know? Because look at all the stuff that's happening to you. If you knew this guy, then why would you be making mistakes? Why would you be in the predicament that you're in? If you knew him so good, then why are you in the situation you're in then? That's how we know for sure you don't know this person. How we know? Because every day he shows us the contradiction to what you're talking about. And every day you act like you're surprised about everything he talking about. You surprised about who he is, what he talk about, and everything. See, at this point, This is where you think I would die. No. Because God is with me, right? He's going to make sure y'all suffer in these secret societies. That's it. That's what's going to happen. So you're going to see the difference between gangsters and prophets. A prophet, where you expect a gangster to die, a prophet is going to live. Every time. Every time. That's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to see. That's why I'm warning you right now. Listen, when you expect gangsters to die, right? When you think you know where they're going to die, this is why I'm going to live, bro. This is where God's going to take off on you. And he's going to show up and show out. And that's what God's going to do. He's going to style on you, wild on you. Watch, you going to see? He going to dunk on you. Watch, God going to dunk on you, buddy. You going to see. And the thing about it, listen, that's how he gonna do it. That's how he gonna do it. You know why? Because that's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking to do to me. You're looking to dunk on me. Watch how he dunk on you. Watch how God dunk on you. And the bad thing about it, it's gonna be the whole country. The whole country gonna feel this, man. Because America has been involved, bro. We know this. We already know. Okay, so now all these people gotta suffer because of these people. They should have been whacked, these people. I don't know what kept them alive, man. I'm telling you, I don't know what kept these people alive. But whatever it was, man, it's over now. You ain't alive no more. You out of here. You out of here, bro. I told these lame dudes, bro. Stay out the way. Stay out the way. You know? You're not built for you. I mean, you was a culture person. That's what you are. You a culture person. You're not built like this, man. You're not built like me. Okay? I survived from coast to coast. And it's a clown that comes in and think it's a show. That's what I'm saying. That person's not going to clean up and try to coordinate with the streets and how the people move in the jungle, and the soldiers, and everything, how it moves. They can't move like this at all. No lane can they move in. And that's what they're trying to do now, trying to adjust to a lane. We don't let you adjust. You played yourself, you messed up the whole community. We not letting you recover from it. That's what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to recover. We're not letting you do that. And that's what New York's supposed to do. You supposed to come in, nah, we ain't let you recover from that, buddy. You came in, you ain't even tell us all this stuff about this dude. We find out he got a son in the world that's 18. We found out this man been married. We found out all kinds of stuff about his brother that's a contradiction. Like his brother buying him a car. His brother bought this man a car right here. Okay, that's the end of the brother. We don't want to hear nothing. That's a sucker. He brought his brother a car, and then he coming out here to the community. Because of a woman, because his wife. Which makes him more of a sucker. And that's who you behind. That's who got you out here. And you ain't going to be able to make that look good. You're not going to be able to do it playing with me. I don't care what you find out about me. You ain't going to find out that. And we going with that. That's enough for you to be dead. So how a dead man going to still be trying to come over here talking about me? How a dead man going to be over here talking about me? Huh? You too dead to be talking. That's how we know you a clown. You think what part of this you think it's a game about? It's over for you. You played the clown position. You thought you would see me die and all this. That's a clown. When I done been around killers, did you know that? No, you didn't know that. I was around killers before you came along, sucker. Soon as listen, I'm not being stereotypical, but as soon as you seen I was black, you should have stepped back and thought twice. That's it. I would have thought twice once I seen a black man. Point blank, period. That's not fair. That's wisdom. You know, ain't no black men out here, no okie dokes on the average. And then you find out he went coast to coast and lived in California. A black man lived in all these places and he ain't 100. A black man that lived in California, he done lived in Los Angeles, but he's an okie doke. Most likely he not, bro. And how we know? Because he wouldn't have made it through all them places. He wouldn't have made it through all them places like that. That's what a stupid white boy don't realize. I wouldn't have made it through all them places with any funniness about me. Nothing happened. All it was Freemasons in the situation. That's all it was. Nothing didn't actually happen, did it? Nothing was thought as in terms that you thought it was thought. No, it wasn't. You listen to dumb Freemasons who too stupid. They so smart, they stupid. Okay, that's all it is to it. And now it's a showdown between you and God. That's all there is to it, bro. Listen, I ain't bound down to nobody who set up and watch child marriage laws get passed, and then you try to get rid of it after you heard it from the prophet. Oh, I know that too. You tried to get rid of it when you heard it from me. But if it wasn't for me, you sitting up here ignorant like a Freemason slave, and you didn't even know your country was marrying children. And that's it. That's how I beat you. That's checkmate. The very thing you was talking about. Your country is marrying children, America. That's checkmate. And if you a boy, you don't understand why it's a checkmate. That's checkmate, sucker. You marry children in America. Go tell Halle Berry you marry children in the United States of America. In other words, go tell your famous actor and actress that what y'all doing. Tell Angela Bassett y'all marrying children. Tell Denzel Washington y'all marrying children. Tell LeBron James they marry children in America. See, you're not the man. Listen, Americans are not these authorities are not the man that you claim to be, buddy. No, you're not. No, you're not, buddy. Listen, you ain't built like that, buddy. I just put you to shame. Your whole country don't even know nothing about y'all marrying children. That's all I'm talking about, buddy. And listen, any real person, no, you can't come back from it. You can't come back from that. How? You've been marrying children the whole time. How you gonna come back from it? How you gonna come back from it? You ain't got nothing to say about that. Y'all marrying children in the United States. That's our foundation for why we win. That's why I keep bringing it up. A retarded person don't know why I keep bringing it up. I'm bringing it up because that's the foundation for why we win. Ain't no way in the world you're going to come out here talking about anything else and y'all marrying children. Okay? That's it. For a grown man, I ain't got nothing else to say. I don't have to do anything else. What we have to do is, listen, as a community, realize because you chose to still play games, ignoring this information, this became a race war. This is how bad this became. Yes, it is. Yes, it is because we know that it's white boys that won't accept that y'all marry children. You marry children, white boy. Okay? That's what it is. Your country married children, white boy. And ain't nothing you can do. All that cowboy stuff is out the window. We don't care nothing about no cowboys. You marrying children, cowboy. And you can put up all these images of who you are as Americans, and you still putting penis in these children. That's the bottom line. You can show me all the acres of land that you got, and it don't mean nothing when you're marrying those children. You can show me your mountains, you can show me your rivers, you can show me your lakes, you can show me your cars, you can show me your gold. You still marrying children. That's all we talking about. See, that's how powerful, in all actuality, that's how powerful truth is. It destroys everything you got. Millions of dollars means nothing when you're marrying children. Billions of dollars means nothing. You're marrying children, buddy. And that's that. Billions of dollars means something, you marrying children. You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean, right? Thinking about a millionaire, the first thing you want to do is try to figure out how can we stop this? You're marrying children. A millionaire wants to stop it. What can he do though? His money can't do anything. I mean, you know, at face value. And who he gonna respect? Who the millionaires gonna respect? When I went through all the trenches, I went through all these corny white people, all these corny black people, all these corny Hispanic and Latinos. I ran through all of them. And then I came out with the most credible information that y'all marry children. Who they gonna respect? They gonna respect me, man. They ain't gonna respect you lame niggas. And that's all it is to it. Ain't nothing else you can do to come back from it. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to show you ain't nothing you can do to come back from this. It's nothing you can do. Okay? It is what it is. We found out who the real America is. Before the buzzer. Before the buzzer, as in basketball. Before the buzzer. Before the time clock ran out. We found out y'all be having sex with these children in America. But you've been calling people pedophiles the whole time. To me, you had no room to lock up nobody in this country for marrying children. We're going to talk like it's the end of the world and it's all over anyway. You didn't have, the whole time that you was here, you had no reason to lock up these people when you was marrying children the whole time. You was marrying children the whole time in America. Talking about some pedophiles. That's why we hate you. We finally found out, listen, you did everything you possibly could do. And if it wasn't bad enough, we found out that you're marrying children. You actually doing something to the children. That was it. That's all we needed. You done killed people. You done went into other countries. You killed black people. You was the most racist country in the world. And if that wasn't good enough or bad enough, better to say, we found out that you've been marrying these children. Having sex with these children. The end, buddy. You don't come back from that. You don't show me no American spirit, no American flags or nothing. You don't come back from it. American spirit can't come back from that. You're marrying children, no, you can't come back from it, buddy. You can't come back from it. Okay? You can't. You can't. Retarded person think they can come back from it. It's not a video game, buddy. This is not a video game. You can't come back from it. It's how it is. So that's why we tripping off these lame niggas out here. Walking around and walking dogs and trying to insinuate stuff. All these lame niggas out here. And how you, that's what I'm saying. That's how we know who real and who fake. Ain't no real nigga trying to come back from that. You ain't trying to come back from it. You letting it be what it is. Now that you realize America done everything. Marrying children. Do you want to come back from that? No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want to come back from that. You ain't trying to come back from that. They marrying children. And they playing with a black man talking about he a pedophile, but you find out they marrying children. You ain't trying to come back from that, bruh. Let's keep it 100. You ain't trying to come back from that. You just don't know how death feels. You don't know how you want to die yet. You don't know how you want to die yet. You ain't come to terms with dying. How about that? You haven't come to terms with dying, have you? But you know, listen, you know you don't want to come back from that. You find out they marrying children. You hated these people this whole time anyway. And then you find out they marrying children and looking in our face and smiling and talking about Epstein files while they marrying children. Simultaneously, they talking about Epstein files but marrying children. Imagine that. Now, don't you see him different? Epstein different. I see him differently. Him and his wife and everything. They marrying children right here in America. What the difference is? They the same kind of people. They were just open with it. What's the difference? Epstein files ain't no... Marrying children is worse. Epstein wasn't married to no child, was he? He was married to that woman. And most black men would have, listen, we would have took that woman and did something with that woman. She wasn't a bad looking woman. That wasn't good enough for that man. Man, listen, that white woman right there, she wasn't no bad looking woman, was she? Keep it 100. See, that's how you know we ain't no pedophile. We looking at the woman. Hold up, look at that woman he had. She wasn't a bad looking woman. Always hanging on him, hugging on him all the time. Showing love all, look at that. Hey, she showing love all the time. Man, a black man would have, listen, a black man would have had a woman like that, we would have been good, man. We would have been good. Look how good she looked when she did, look at how she look now. Now can you imagine her about 30 years ago? That's the 90s with all them pictures they were taking. Look how young she looked then. Man, look, how that wasn't good enough, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, because he couldn't do nothing with it. That's what it was. Come on, let's keep it 100. He couldn't do nothing with it. He couldn't really please that woman, could he? Oh, I'm just keeping it real. So then you got to do all this little weird, bizarre stuff. You get off in this rogue sexuality because you really can't please no woman. That's a 7 hour. The problem is, these men can't really please no woman. So your ego never gets satisfied, now does it? Ooh. Well, if you can't please no woman, how your ego will get satisfied? As a man, as a real man, you got to do all, you become rogue and start doing all this other stuff where you don't even have an ego. Well, a pedophile don't have no ego, do he? He kills his ego because he can't please a woman. Wow. He kills his ego because he can't please a woman. Think about it. What you gonna do? You just gonna dead the ego. I can't do nothing with a woman. I ain't got no penis, right? I'm gonna just dead my ego and just start doing other stuff. Think about it. You just gonna go rogue. You know you can't please no woman no matter how good they look anyway. Think about it. That's what I see. You gotta realize the power of an inadequate man. This is the guy that becomes the pedophile. Not some stand-up head honcho that got plenty of penis for a woman. How he becomes a pedophile? Oh, because you making it up. Like you freestyling because you a clown like that. Listen, buddy, let me tell you something. A black man with plenty of penis, how he gonna wind up a pedophile? It's gonna be these white boys with no penis that he kill his ego and then he start playing with kids sexually. But he gotta first kill his ego. How he kill his ego? He realized he can't please a woman sexually. You get it, right? This is the psychology part. This is the psychological part. That's how we know it's most of these white boys. Because they ain't got no penis. It ain't no secret. Okay, so he comes to terms with the fact that he can't please no woman with that little penis. He's going to think about the black guy that's able to put all kind of penis in this woman. He going to realize he can't do nothing with that. He can't do nothing with it. So he going to just kill his ego. That's the only way a man can survive, right? In this case. He going to go ahead and kill his ego and say, well, you know, I can't. And then he going to become a whole nother different weirdo. When he kill his ego, he realized he can't please this woman, no matter how beautiful she is. Something happened where he realized he can't please that woman. He know it within himself. Something that showed him that's too much woman for him. He can't do nothing with it. So guess what he gonna do? Guess what he gonna do? He gonna become rogue, and then just start doing other stuff. That's what I'm saying. In his sexuality, the only way he gonna come to terms with it, especially if he making money, how do I redeem myself with not being able to please a woman? I'm gonna just be rogue and doing all kind of stuff. Let's think about how a man becomes a pedophile instead of thinking like it's this weirdo fetish. I think it's more complicated. I think it's a little more complicated. I don't think it's as cut and dry as people think. Like this person's born like that they got this kind of hang up where they like children or something. I think it comes with these inadequate men. Like some of these inadequate men that's gay. And you gay because you ain't got no penis either. So you just dead your ego and just start being with men, considering being with men. Not all of them, but some of them, enough of them. Not all white men with little penises, but some of them becomes pedophiles. Because you know why? Because you can't please no woman. And it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Well, we know you know with that little penis, you can't do nothing. That little pecker, that little pecker, you got a pecker, don't you? You got a little pecker, don't you? That little pecker, in 2026 we put R's on everything. That little pecker, he ain't got a pecker, he got a pecker. That little pecker, that little pecker, you can't do nothing. So guess what you gonna do? Guess what you gonna do? You gonna debt your ego. You gonna kill your ego and start and to save face, you gonna start playing around kids and everything, like, cause you got money, right? These people got ego cause they got money. Okay, so I can get all the money in the world. I got Corvettes, I got everything, but I got a little pecker, don't I? He got a little pecker. Everything he got, his sexuality does not resemble his lifestyle with money. He looks he's smart in his head. He got money, but his penis is nothing. So how does he redeem himself? Start messing around. First he kills his ego. Well, I don't care. Think about it. A man gonna say, well, he got a little penis. He realized the real world. See, when he was young, he didn't realize nothing. Till you start getting around black men. Don't be a football player. You see penis in the you know you ain't got that at all. So what you gonna do? You see penis in the locker room that's about the size of your leg. What you gonna do? You gonna kill your own ego. Like, who am I? Who am I? You gonna kill your own ego and start playing around these children. That's what you're gonna do. That's your way of saving face. You become this dark-like person where you're mad at the world. You wonder why you got a little penis, don't you? Hey, I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why my penis is bigger than yours. But you know what? Even if I had a little penis, I still wouldn't be out here playing with no children. I think this dude kills his ego and started playing with children to save face. Think about the arrogant white person with a lot of money. Okay, how am I gonna save face? For myself. I'm gonna become this corrupt, bitter, butthurt person that just say, well, I'm gonna just do what I wanna do. Think about it. It's not as cut as dry as you think. Like they got some hang up with children. I think because it starts with them not being able to please a woman. You can't please a woman, now all of a sudden you entertaining all these other thoughts. Like, maybe because I got a little penis, it'll go right into a little girl. Maybe it'll work in a little girl better. Maybe it'll fit just perfectly. Maybe I was built for little girls. Maybe I was built for little girls. I got a little penis. Maybe it's built for little girls. I get along with little girl. I got a little penis. Maybe that's what I'm built to do. But the bottom line is, a little penis go right perfectly into a little girl. And you can't tell me that a man ain't gonna think about that. Of course. If I thought about this, he ain't gonna think about it. Of course he gonna think about it. Especially when they become teenagers, that's what's really gonna get him. He gonna think right there is the time, right there is the age where she's good and tight. My penis is just right for a girl like that. Think about it. That's what he gonna think. A man with a big penis, a big floppy penis like a black man, I can't put no penis in the... You know how long a girl would take to adjust to a black man's penis? Adjust. Women that date black men know what I'm talking about. How long did it take for you to take the penis of a black man? For all these women, for all these white women and these Hispanic and Latino women and these black women that date black men with big penises, did you take all the penis at the beginning? No, you didn't. See, they don't even know the language we talking about, do they? Oh, but women, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Oh yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You didn't take all the penis when you first met him, did you? How long did it take for you to take all that penis? Now, can you imagine him throwing penis in a little girl? Can you imagine him just throwing all that penis in a girl like that? Think about it. How long did it take you to take it, and you a grown woman? Huh? That's how you know. Listen, that's how you know I'm endowed, buddy. It take women weeks to take the penis, don't it? Even months. Oh, this is stuff that white people might not know about. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought the girls with the big butts just take it all in the first day. Well, she got a big butt, he got a big penis, it just works out. Well, that's what it might appear to be. But these girls with big butts, they can't take a lot of penis. In fact, some of these big girls can't take no penis. That's an ongoing understanding that many black men got. All these big girls can't take no penis. All that body can't take nothing. And a big butt don't mean nothing. Oh, it don't. No, it don't. No, it don't. No, it don't. It don't mean she could take. It don't mean she could take penis. That's on an individual basis. That's on an individual basis right there, buddy. You can find a girl, big butt and everything. You think you listen. A black man know when you pull all that to the side. No pun intended. She can't even take no penis, man. She can't even take it. That's what we get frustrated about. You know what black man problems is? A woman taking all the penis. Right. Listen, if you think, and listen, for white America, if you think all these black women taking all the penis, they working on it. Let's just say they working on it. Oh, I know, all right. Right now on a Friday night, they working on it. I'll do more later, baby. I'll take more later. I'm doing better, ain't I? Oh, they ain't the kind of talk that black couples have. I'm doing better, ain't I, baby? I took more this time. Yeah, you did. That's how black man gonna talk. Yeah, you did. You took more. He gonna sound like a trainer, like a gym trainer. Yeah, you took more this time. Yeah, you did good. You took more steps. This kind of conversation black couples have. We know. Come on, all men know this. Come on, man. All black men know this. You know what I mean? You sitting with your wife right now. You sitting with your woman right now. If you just met her, she ain't taking all the penis. Come on, but you glad. But listen, it's a journey, ain't it? You know what I mean? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. It's a journey. Enjoy the journey, as they say. Her and you enjoy the journey. You know what I mean? This is your wife to be, your wife, right? I'm talking in terms of wife. Let's put it like that. For me to be safe, because I can't condone things outside of marriage. But use your own. You know what I mean? So, but it applies to these women. Everything I said applies to these women. That's just life. That's just facts. Whether I condone it or not, these things apply, right? Right. Okay, so women ain't taking, all these black women, black men keep it 100. They ain't taking all your penis the first night. No. It take about 3 month probationary period, don't it? 3 months, 4 months. And then you got to work her into it anyway. And here's the thing for us as black men. A woman can't take our full thrust. Even when they take it all, she can't take you the full thrust. No, she can't. The full thing, no, she can't. Even after she take it all, she still can't take the full thrust, can she? So we almost, as black men, this is being real, we almost get dumbed down. We are so endowed sexually. We almost have to dumb down with any woman we meet. Let's keep it real. You kind of dumb down though. You giving your full thrust? Nope. Even if she taking it, it still ain't the full thrust. You can't hit it hard as you want to. No. She gonna stop you. And you a gentleman, so you ain't, most black men, we learn how to be great lovers. You a gentleman. Oh, that's too hard. Okay. You a gentleman, you ain't gonna do it anyway. She got you, listen, she got you trained, she got us all, listen. Right there, not you, easy now, easy. Easy. Hold up. You ain't gonna be able to get your full thrust And that's how we supposed to do it. Man, we can't. Most of us endowed men, we can't have sex like that. No, we can't. No, we can't. Keep it 100. No, we can't. No, we can't. So I mean, that's the pros and the cons about the situation. Now imagine with all that I just said. Imagine a black man dumbing down to children. What he gonna do? He can't put no penis in no children, man. That's common sense, man. So his psychology is that of a man that's working with a grown woman. That's it. That's all he gonna be thinking about. She can't even hang on. Now imagine him going with children and knowing children can't take. Come on, man. A child can't take no. A girl can't take no penis. No. So imagine us attempting to do that. It will be found out. Blood everywhere, everything. How can that happen? A grown man. Come on, man. No. Listen, you live in fantasy worlds. You say it happened all the time. I want you to show me where it happens all the time. I want you to show me where a black man doing that all the time. No, these black children mess around with other black children. That ain't what we talking about. I want you to show me a black man that's endowed, not the ones that's not endowed. I want you to show me the ones that's endowed. I said endowed. Now, do every black man got a big penis? No. Now you know now. Okay, so we talking about the black man who got a big penis now. Now show me him going around messing around with kids with a big penis. Show me a real bull going around, a black bull going around playing. Come on, man. That's common sense. Only people confused is these white people. You don't know no better. Black people, you know too much to be confused about that. You know, a black woman know you barely taking your man penis. Now, can you imagine him going and playing around children? How he gonna do it is your first question. All that penis he got, I know he ain't going nowhere. Well, I can barely take it. Who gonna take that? These women, these kids, you kidding me? A kid? Ain't no way in the world. I'm a grown woman and I can't even take it. That's what a woman gonna take. I'm a grown woman. I can't even take all that penis. Can you imagine a little girl? She might have to go to the hospital. Yeah. So I mean, that's the things we talk about. That's the thing. That's our real life. That's who we are. We gonna talk about these things that only black men know. Only black men know your woman barely taking the penis, right? That part. Right? She barely taking it, right? More than enough, right? More than enough. Okay, so can you imagine you dumbing down when you such a mature lover? You know, you're there for your woman, you know, you're not a jerk, you know, she taking her time with the penis. That's what kind of lover you become, this guy, this expert level guy, this sensei, this sexual sensei. Hey, you become a sexual sensei. You know what I mean? You taking your time with your woman and everything. Can you imagine that mentality? Can you imagine my mentality? I speak for myself. I put myself out there. Can you imagine my mentality dumbing down to a child? When I done showed you as much as only a black man would know, being a mature, caring lover, taking steps with your woman, where she taking the penis step by step, inch by inch, more and more, every time, and then you still can't get your full thrust on, where you hit it as hard as you want. She ain't gonna never. That's the part she ain't gonna never graduate to. That's the saddest part. She doesn't know there's more. Well, after you take all the inches, now it's the thrust. And every man got his own thrust. Well, yeah. I got my own thrust. And it's gonna be based on your own strength, right? You work your back, you work your muscles, and which consists of putting out the thrust, you're gonna have a stronger thrust. And a more accurate thrust too. So anyway, man, you know, these are the real logistics, no pun intended, of sexuality with a black man. You ain't gonna. Hey, that's enough. That's a good foundation for you right there. You don't need you. That's all you need to know. Really. I mean, there's more, but you know, I will leave you right there. We'll leave you in suspense for the rest of your life. We'll leave you and your family in suspense. We'll leave you and your wife in suspense. Y'all don't need to know nothing anyway. You don't need to know nothing else anyway. All these swingers out here. You don't need to know nothing anyway. They sitting back drinking wine listening. Yeah, he's right. Well, she was over here. Hey, the swingers are saying, I wish he was over here tonight. Cause that boy knows what he's talking about. He seemed like he got something going on over there. I wish he was over here tonight. You know how many miserable women there are that aren't having any real sex? They're miserable. I don't know what they do. We in the black community, we don't know what they do. What do they do? Well, I mean, I guess you live a comfortable life. See, that's the perk of being with a white guy. You out the hood. So a white woman justify, well, hey, I'm living a great life. That part. Everybody got their endowment, man. With these white dudes, they be killing it with the houses and the cars. I'm just keeping it real. I'm saying on a simplistic level, with the house and the cars, they killing it. See, that's how a white woman adjusts, okay? And a white man know how to work it. Anyway, some of them do. And it ain't no secret. He do little extra little things to keep his wife pleased. You know what I'm talking about. So, that's how they balance it out. Because here's the bad thing about being a black guy in America. Okay, you can slang all the penis you want, but you still in the hood. And you still got to worry about money. You see what I'm saying? And you could say that was kind of a way of people getting back at us, you know what I'm saying? Because they know that, you can have all the penis in the world, but your woman, eventually, especially a woman, she going to be worried about money. She going to be thinking about money. And so some men would say, well, I can't understand why these black guys can't get a woman. Oh, we can get them, but it's keeping them because we need money. If I had a big black penis, I would have all these women. No, you wouldn't. You know what happened? If you're in a typical black guy's situation, you're gonna have a lot of penis, but you ain't got no bread. It's like the hot dog without the bread, buddy. That part. That's it out. That's a good way of putting it. That's like the hot dog without the bread. No pun intended. You got the hot dog, the sausage, but no bread. Okay, so then, okay, you can eat it like that. It's good. But you're gonna want some bread around that hot dog. Around that sausage, that juicy sausage. Put some ketchup on it. Put some chili on it. She can go be with this other guy. He got the bread, he got the chili, he got the sauce, I got the slaw. He can put some slaw on that, onions on that hot dog. She loving it. That's what happened. You got a hot dog, but you ain't got no bread. See, that's how you tell your children. You tell your grown men. So you have a bird and a beast talk. You have two of them. You have one before they become an adult and one after. You start talking you go back to your children and talk to them as a grown man about sex. Yeah, you got a dog, you got a hot dog, but you need bread. A hot dog is good without bread. You can eat it. But you need bread with that hot dog. And when you can make a million meals without that bread with that hot dog, but when you put that bread with it, you gonna have chili. You can put some chili on there. You can put some slaw. You can load it down. You can have a loaded hot dogs with the works. That's how I used to like my hot dogs. Slaw, chili, onions, all of it. I used to like all that stuff on my hot dog. Everything. The best way to have it. Slaw, chili, onions, ketchup, mustard, all that, boy. Put it all on there, right? That's the best kind of hot dogs. When I used to eat them, that's how I used to eat them. But if you just got a hot dog, That's how we be out here. It's good. Okay, yeah, I can eat on this. It's good. I might could put it in like some different, you know, we don't want to talk about hot dog being cut up in this context, but you can put it in different dishes and it's gonna be work. It can work for you. You can even put it in some mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying? Put nice sausage in there, like jambalaya. You know what I'm saying? Put it in there. You know what I mean? But you need that bread to make it work. That bread, you got nice big sausage, juicy. I ain't talking about the hot dogs, the sausages. We used to eat them red sausages. See, down south we got them red sausages. Eat them red sausages, you don't dry them out. You leave the juice in it. Put some chili on it. Put some get that Texas Pete chili. Put the Texas Pete chili on it. Put some onions on it. Sauce, some salt, some slaw on it. Ketchup, mustard, boom. That's the problem. That's what we have. We don't got no bread. So, you know, we keep a woman, we hold her down, you know what I'm saying? We got love though. You know, love is not gonna be dictated by your penis size, you know. So, you know, some guys keep a woman because they got love, you know. Like me, I can go back to any woman that I had, I can go back to them. It's how you leave women, you know what I'm saying? You leave them a certain way, you can go back to most of them. Like a job, you know, no disrespect, but it's like a job. You know, you leave a job a certain way, you can always go back. You leave a job, you leave a job reckless, you can't go back, obviously. But you leave a job a certain way, you can always go back. You know what I'm saying? Most men can go back to their women. They know how to treat a woman, got love and everything like that. But even then, man, money still is gonna be a situation. You know what I'm saying? That's how America really wronged the black man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we got to be subject to a man should never be subject to another man in front of his woman. The black man got to be subject to a white man in front of his woman, where she almost got more respect, low key, you know, for a white man. She's supposed to respect. Her man's supposed to be above everybody. But how can that be? How can that be when he's not living and being the man that he needs to be? You know what I'm saying? She's gonna see that this white man reigns supreme in this country. And that he probably been giving you less money on purpose. I feel like some of these white men was kind of jealous of us because of our penis size. And think about it. And I'm gonna stop him from having some money. He can have all the penis in the world, but he ain't got no money. That's how they try to fight us. I think racist men actually thought about it. That, okay, he got a lot of penis, we'll never have that, you know, but we'll make him broke. And eventually a woman is going to complain and move on. She may even move on to us over here. If you can't if you ain't got money to provide for your woman, man, listen, if you're a real man, that's always going to be a problem. That's always going to be something in your mind that you want to do. You want to buy your woman things, you want to give her nice things, you want to give her gold, you want to give her jewelry, diamonds and everything, diamonds and pearls. You want to do everything. If you could, you would. You'll give your woman everything you could give her. Everything the world could buy, everything in the world. But in your lifetime, many of you may not be able to do it. And that's why we become ferocious. We become ferocious and treacherous in order to give our women a life, you know, before the children, not because of the children, because of your love for your woman. You want to provide and give her great things in life. And see, in an ironic way, this works for why is so much evil in the world, because out of love for your woman, you want to do evil to get money. That's how a lot of people are, you know. But for me, in my case, how I am is I'm willing to do this for God, you know, and God is willing to do this for me. See, when you play with that companionship between God and his servant, I'm his companion. When you play with me, buddy, listen, whatever little relationship you thought you had with God is going to get blowed out the water. You're going to get blowed out the water with what you thought you had with God, buddy. I'm just letting you know. Because everybody and their mama think they got a relationship with God. You can't tell these ignorant black people that they don't got no relationship with God. You don't. You don't. And I know you don't. You know how I know you don't? Because the Bible tells me you don't. If you don't live a righteous life, you don't have a relationship with God. Therefore, in your arrogance, you proceed to play with somebody that actually do have a relationship with God. And guess what happens to you? You may have never seen it in all your generations of living in this country. And you tread on somebody who really is a servant of God, and you find yourself in a hell of a lot of trouble. Literally. And that's what happened to you. Okay? Because you can't tell them they don't got a relationship with God. You can't tell them that. So they going to be deceived. They going to think they can do something to you, and they still can be with God. They don't even know that you're with God. Bad, bad, bad situation. And listen, just like you care about your woman, God cares about his companion. He tried to be patient. God tried to be patient. But, patience runs out. That's what it does. That's a natural course of patience. It just dries up and runs out. Runs out and dries up. It's gone. That's what happened to you. I'm God's companion. I'm one of his companions. I'm one of his friends. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good, man. Because it's no Americans. It's no Americans that can get in the way between God and his companion. It's just not going to happen. And my philosophy is this. Even if you meant well, at some point, you see that your well is spoken evil of. At some point. I don't care what you think about me. I know you're close enough to die. I don't think you believe that. Someone told you something that made you very comfortable with me. And that's how I know. How I know? Because whether you're suicidal or whatever you feel, you're way too close to me, buddy. And as soon as somebody jump, I'm tearing them up. I'm tearing them apart. It's that simple. And guess what? I won't go to jail. No, I won't. I won't go to jail because I'm going to prove everything and I'm going to do it just right. Where if I have to take somebody's life, I'm going to do it just right, buddy. I promise you that. You know, I'm not your plaything. I'm not your toy. I belong to God. And I'm sorry that you thought this was an experiment. I'm not humiliated. No, I'm not humiliated because I'm winning. I'm winning real good. But I don't have anybody that's a companion to me. I don't have anybody that can see me in your community, all right? I don't. And you're nobody that needed to see who I was anyway. That's my philosophy. You needed to see who I was. Why? Who are you to see me? Who are you to see who I am? That's my question to you. Like, who are you supposed to be for me to have to prove myself to you? I mean, your country is having sex with children. And this is what makes me ruler. I'm a ruler. You can say you're a king. I am a ruler. See, a king can be chosen by the popular people, by the popularity of the people. A ruler might not be chosen by the people. I rule over you for certain reasons. And if you're real with yourself, you know I rule over you because of the truth. And the truth rose me to rule over you. You can't, listen, you can't marry children and accuse a prophet, and then that same prophet comes out here and tells everybody, not a different prophet, the same one, just so happens, he comes out here and tells everybody you're marrying children. He rules over everybody. Now, that's for grown men. Teenagers, teenage girls and teenage boys don't realize these rules to ruling. In the old ancient times, I would rise to power instantaneously. When the government and the rulers in the community finds out that somehow this person who proclaims to be a prophet knows about this the most number one popular country in the world. No one knew this in this most popular country in the world. Can't make this up. Not only did I expose this country, I exposed the most popular country in the world for doing something that nobody would have thought they was doing. I rule, whether you accept it or not. It's not about preference. See, some people rule by preference. Some people rule that don't have nothing to do with preference. I rule over you without preference of that rule, because of truth, of life, that the things you accused me of, I found out you was doing the same thing. In fact, your country was marrying children in 45 states of America. So what other position would I have? I rule. In the ancient times, I would rise to power. They would lift me up to power instantly over everybody, because out of disgust that your whole authority community did not know this. Police involved, secret societies, everybody, black people, white people, Hispanic, Latinos, presidents, Barack Obama didn't do nothing about child marriage. You see what I'm saying? You see how bad it is? I would have to rule. I would rule not because you want me to, because you a sucker, right? It's where you think you can prefer me to rule. You can't stop this. You see what I'm talking about? You can't stop it. You played yourself so bad, I rule. And what kind of man would I be not to know that? That's how you know I'm competent. I know when I take rule. And black people not used to seeing a black man rise to power. Europeans see it all the time. Oh yeah, he's the king. He rules. They used to seeing it through every generation. Oh yeah, that's the ruler right there. Oh, it's no doubt about it. Oh yeah, what you mean? He is. He's the one. Black people don't know who rules because they never ruled themselves. Well, I don't know. You ain't never seen a ruler. Oh, well, I don't know about that. I don't know if he's fake, or he might be a bummer clock, or because you ain't used to, listen, you done been around so many slaves. You don't know a ruler when you look at one, you don't know what they sound like. You know what a ruler sounds like? He has integrity. He has integrity, after all, over everybody. Yeah, that's what a ruler sounds like. Oh, well, you game stalking and playing games. You definitely ain't got no integrity. Oh, you forgot about integrity, didn't you? That's 7 hour. You forgot about integrity, didn't you? You don't got that, do you? So how can you be a ruler without integrity? No, who would, in other words, who would trust you as a ruler without integrity? Who would trust the Freemasons and Illuminati? Who would trust these Americans now? After all they've done to me, who would trust them? You don't even trust the people that rule over you anymore. You see that part? Yeah. See, I rule. You understand? I know that. You might have thought I should have been saying that I'm a king. No, I'm not a king. A king is elected. A ruler may rule without election. You don't get it, do you? I rule without your preference. I rule without preference of you wanting me to rule. Because there's no way in the world you can marry children and your whole country didn't know about it. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about, right? Jay-Z didn't know about it. Nicki Minaj showing her face everywhere. Listen, I'm just being 100. She don't know nothing about no marrying no children. She ain't say nothing about it, did she? Okay, so she can talk about she queen of this and queen of that, but she don't rule over me. She don't rule over me, buddy. Not if she sat here dancing around making all them animated faces and didn't know nothing about no child marriage. Making all them animated faces. Didn't know nothing about child marriage. None of these people did. So how can I not rule? You don't understand how it was done. You wouldn't. You're not educated. Okay? The educated know I rule without trying to. In ancient times, it would be considered that I am a natural born ruler. Naturally. Even just how I talk for hours like this, only a bum country like America would take that for granted. All the stuff I've shared on these videos, if this was ancient times, I would be considered a natural born leader. Not just for exposing America for marrying children with my level of wisdom that God has given me. Over your whole country, you don't have no solutions. You don't even know what it's about. You don't even act like you know what life is about. What's the biggest money conversation? I taught you that earlier. What's the biggest money conversation? The biggest money conversation is a living wage. A living wage, not entrepreneurship or being a rapper or being a famous superstar. The biggest money conversation is a living wage for every person. You'll find that these politicians will never talk about a living wage in their lifetime. You don't hear Trump barely, he's supposed to be money man barely. You will never hear him talk about a living wage. You can count on both hands how many times he talked about it. Since he's been in office, go find sound bites where he talked about it. Barack Obama, did he talk about a living wage? Did any of these other politicians talk about a living wage? Joe Biden didn't talk about it. Nobody's talking about a living wage, right? That's why I would rule over you. You see what I'm saying? It would be people that would say, okay, no, we don't care about this, y'all, none of y'all anymore. This person right here is above you all, right? And that's all it is to it. He's talking about a living wage, and what are you talking about? Entrepreneurship. How in the world everybody gonna be an entrepreneur? How everybody gonna have a mom and pop kitchen, soul food kitchen? Everybody, every single person. So you don't have a plan for every single person. I do. A living wage. See, these rappers talk about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not for every single person in the world. It's not for every single person in America. You can't entrepreneur the whole country. You can't entrepreneur the whole country, bruh. So then what happens to the everyday person? They need a living wage. Enough money from a job to pay for rent, shelter, and food, and like I like to say, a little bit of entertainment. If you don't make a living wage, you're just working as a slave. You can't make enough money in 2 pay periods to pay for your rent. That's not, listen, now it's more worse than ever. Now you got bona fide slaves now. If you look at 2026, they can't, you got people that got degrees and everything and ain't getting a living wage. They getting whatever they can. So now it's a more complicated conversation now, isn't it? Because now everybody, not just white people, black people, everybody in America is now suffering from not getting a living wage. Black people been suffering from not getting a living wage. White people just now coming into the show. Now welcome to the show where you don't get a living wage. You don't make enough money in 2 pay periods like you used to get rent, to get clothing, to get food. And that's the conversation I'm having, because it puts pressure on the corporations to provide a living wage for all their workers. They only provide it for managers and up. Managers and up only get a living wage. Everybody that's on the floor at any corporation, they don't get no living wage. They don't care. Them the slaves. Wake up. That's what slavery is. You're not able to take care of yourself. Okay? You're just working for nothing. You're working to where you can't do for yourself. That's the bottom line. And if you can't get an apartment for yourself, are you really doing anything? Not really. Ask a woman if you're doing something if you can't get a place for to live on your own. Ask a female. She gonna be the first in line to tell you ain't doing nothing. Okay? A man might, oh well, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do. Well, okay, but right now you ain't doing nothing. It's called a living wage. That's what you have to have. You have to have a living wage in order for you to have enough money to pay for your own rent, food, and shelter, and any other necessities that you have, including these surprise bills out the blue, where you might have to take care of your family or an injury or something, where you actually do pay your hospital bills. Most of us black people, we don't. That bill keep coming, we ain't doing nothing. We know we ain't doing nothing. We knew instantly we was doing nothing from the very beginning. No, that's just being real. I ain't never paid no hospital bill. That it keep coming in the mail, and I ain't doing nothing about it. And then eventually it goes away, don't it? No, that's the truth. I don't know what happens, but it goes away. Hospital bill goes away, don't it? Don't know what happened to it. Just went away. One day it just stopped coming. We don't pay no hospital bills. You tripping. No, I can have the money. I'm not paying for it. I already know when I do that, sign that paperwork, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just showing you how it really is in America, man. People ain't being 100, man. It's refreshing. It should be refreshing to hear somebody keep it 100. Ain't nobody paying them hospital bills. And we could now, we'll pride ourselves on it. That's the balance. A black person pride themselves on taking care of their bills. If I could just shell that money out, I would. Oh, I shell it out right there on the spot. How much is it? Oh, 800? Okay, here you go. We take pride in taking care of things, but if I can't take care of it, I can't really do it. I'm not really making no money. Come on, think about it. When I'm gonna get to that? And especially if I ain't gotta have no medication and nothing stands in the way. This bill don't stand in the way of nothing. Now, if it stood in the way of medication and things like that, then I would have to pay it. But if it don't stand in the way of me getting something or whatever, think about it. Look at the temptation of not having to do it, not doing it.